Let me just do this. It's easier. I got mulching, two of them. I had bird seed. See that one on the
Just do
top?
this. It's easier. I got mulching, two of them.
Shut this off.
I had bird seed. See that one on the top?
That one on the top of the. I had my bird seed in there, and the damn squirrel got into it and chewed up the container to get inside of it, and so I had that in a bucket, but I forgot to put the lid on it. So one of those buckets, I think a couple of them are empty, but now I need something. I got birdseed in that one on the shelf, and um, yeah, I got to clean it up. It's my garden bench, but can you hear me? Squirrels are smart. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I can't see. Can you see the birds on it? I can't see how they'll get. The squirrel will climb on it, but he won't be able to get to the food because the doors will close. I don't know. We'll see. It's made out of metal, so it's not something he's going to chew through. You can see on my bench my old bird feeder. He didn't bother with it. I mean, it's pretty hard for him to uh, get on the feeder and stay on the feeder. Now, this one might be a little different, but I'll see. Like he would try, he would stay on the tree and like bend his head out to try to get to the feeder, and he couldn't do it. They didn't bother with my old one. Now I did used to have suet out there, like the suet blocks and those little cages hanging up, and they got on them and they got into them. They managed to get into them, even though I did shit to keep them out. Yeah, I don't know how well you can see it, like if it's not very close up. I tried to zoom the camera in, but I can't do it and let you see it. I can see it. Like I can move it around, right? But when I do it on my phone to make it bigger, it it doesn't doesn't translate to what you're seeing. Let me see. Yeah, see, I can't get it to zoom in. Is it like shitty looking when you zoom in? Like the picture quality? And I got a headache. So it gets blurry to a so pretty close. Yeah, I mean the camera quality is not that good. I mean it's not horrible, but like I can I can zoom in on my screen, but I can't read. I can't read license plates. This one will only feed 4 birds at a time. I think my other one did the same. I'm not sure. You have bird feeders too? Yeah, I mean, during the summer, well, during the winter, I open my curtains behind me and I can watch the birds at my bench because right there is where my backyard is here behind me. Maybe I could get a better. If I put up another bird feeder, maybe I can get a better camera. See that little pallet on top of my bench there? That's where I hung my suet feeders from. I'm going to take that down. See my little shed that I built for the lawnmower out of pallets? That worked out pretty good. Everything's out of pallets there. It all worked out pretty good. But yeah, damn squirrels. Be interesting to see if they try to mess with it. Eddie said he was um, watching it today, and some squirrels were trying to get onto it, and they fell off. We'll see. I got it on Amazon. Yeah, the birds love to sue it. I wish I could put that stuff out, but the damn squirrels, they get into the feeder thing. Unless I find something better. But damn squirrels, man. Apparently there's like 6 of them living in that tree next to it. Let me show you. See that tree right there? See those holes? They live in those fucking holes. They live in that tree right there. You'll see them pop out every once in a while. But yeah, that's where they live in those holes. There's a bunch of holes in that tree. It's like a little family of them. Little bastards. I like I like this. I'm gonna mute the mic for that thing since I'm talking. I like the cameras because I have the app for them and I can check them anytime I want to. But they're pretty nice. They were cheap. I got them on Amazon. Really cheap. This one I can control. Like I have two other ones. I can't control them. I can't pan them. They don't follow. They're just stationary, but they're good too. But this one I can control, pan it around, make it follow people. One day my neighbor he he messaged me. See, it does motion. It'll go to the motion. That car going by. I thought I had motion turned off, but maybe not on this one. I don't know. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass. But rabbits live in your backyard. Yeah, the Eefies are nice because they are solar powered. Yeah, I see. Like I think like there's too many trees back there. I don't know that the solar powered one would work too good. So sometimes my camera freaks out. My neighbor was like, "Hey, your camera's freaking out over there." He texted me, and I had to look and see. Sometimes it would, when it rains, it would like go all over the place. It would try to follow the raindrops. And Prime Day, my lady has Prime. I have Prime too. Yeah, I don't need no more shit. Like I said, if I did anything, I would get like something, a Wi-Fi camera that would take better, shoot better video, and I would just do a live feed out there. Depends how close I can get to it with it. If it'll zoom in and stay zoomed in, I don't want it to go off like when I'm taking trash out, get distracted. I don't know. I just thought about it. Every once in a while, I watch a couple live bird cam uh, channels, and they do pretty well. A lot of people go there and watch them. They're pretty relaxing to watch. They even have squirrels on theirs. I mean, if the squirrels would behave, I wouldn't mind, but they're a pain in the ass, man. They don't behave. Yeah, that one's pretty nice too. I forget how much I paid for that one. I think I paid like, I want to say like 30, 40 bucks for this one that I have. It's not solar. It has a cord that comes in the window. Solar would be nice, but I don't know how well it would do with the sun. I don't get much sun there. What are you doing today, Wigwag? Nobody else is here? Anybody else here? Three people? Yep, the dogs are out. Let me mute it. The dogs are out. My neighbor has five dogs. He just got two little puppies. They're kind of like Chihuahua mixes. They're nice little dogs. Tiny little things. Strange, there are no squirrels around here. Around where you live? Sat outside yesterday and watched the Brewers game. Nice. No, what do you do today? What did you do today? Not yesterday. Squirrels around your house or around my house? Wonder why you don't have squirrels. Do you have trees? Maybe because you don't have trees. They like trees. Neighbor behind us has a crazy dog. He can almost jump the fence. Yeah, these guys can't jump the fence. Hey, Tom Grassi, what's up? How you doing? How's it going? How's your day? Just watching my new bird feeder. Yeah, damn squirrels. We have trees, no squirrels, just rabbits. Wonder why you don't have squirrels. Huh. Maybe your neighbor shoots them. My neighbor shoots them. I don't think he's decreased the population enough. If I had a BB gun, I would shoot the bastards. Jerry, thanks for asking. Working on the layout and waiting for my car to get fixed. What's up with your car? What's wrong with your car? I was doing, you can't see it now. It's dry. I made a sample for my, I'll make my camera bigger real quick. I made a sample to do my concrete and I painted it and then I just applied this to it and it dries clear. So you can see the concrete underneath. You know, you see the gray color underneath. So this is just going to be a sample boards I made. I'm going to start staining it, see what I like. This one's kind of drying. You kind of see it. It's not quite dried yet. But this one's totally dry. Back to the bird cam. Um, wonder if I can do it the other way around. Wonder why I can't do that. PK and W Bob, what's up? Haircut? No, no haircut. Shaved. What's going on, Bob? How's it going? Jerry, any birds? Yeah, there's a couple out there. I just put it out there, so they got to get used to it. They're not used to it. Jerry, test looks good. No, I guess. I don't know. Engine light came on the other day. They need to check the code and see what the problem is. Gotcha. Jerry, you know you can take the Waze logo off the view of the cam? No? How do you do that? Well, I don't want to take it off. I don't care that it's on there. I didn't know you could do it. It's just a test. I just wanted to see what it looked like. What are you guys watching it on? Wigwag's watching it on a tablet. Are you guys watching on your phone? You're watching on a bigger computer? Is it easy to see? Is it not good to see? Is it hard to see? What are you up to today, Bob? Computer looks pretty sharp. Can you see the bird feeder though? Yeah, I mean it's good. It's good video. I mean it does good sharp stuff. You can read everything, right? Within reason. I mean you can read my signs, right? But yeah. Yeah, it's a mess out there. Don't look at my mess. I'm studying for my part 107. Oh man, are you really? You going to take it? There's a website that will help you get through it. They charge you if the camera is in a feeder that is not apparent. Is on a feeder? No, it's not really. The feeder's there. It's the red thing back there. I can't zoom in. I can zoom in on my phone, but I can't zoom in when I'm looking here. You know what I mean? There's no way to change it on here. That's the only thing. I wish I could. Let me see if I can. Oh. No, see, like I can't get into. Can't get into it. Cameras. Upgrade to Cam Plus. Not now. Change your loans. Unlock Cam. Yeah. Yeah, it won't let me. Won't let me zoom in. I paid for a course which I'm taking now almost after almost a year. Really? Well, I hope you get your license. Shouldn't be too bad. You should be able to get it. Then you could use it for your YouTube channel. I would like to get a drone, but I'm not going to take the license, and I'm not going to do the license, so I can't use it for my channel. So it's useless for me. It'll be nice to put more drone shots up on YouTube. Yeah, it sure will. For you, yeah, yeah, it will be nice. Anybody want to join me if I put a link up here? Are you at your shop, Bob, or are you home? Any updates on your layout? You probably just got home from your vacation, right? Yeah, last week did some mapping for a buddy of an old mine site. Oh, that's cool. How do you map it? How do you go about that? Did you find any gold? There's gold in them darn hills. Oh, there's a bird. Just flew into the trash can. Doesn't he know there's a bird feeder? There he goes. He came out. Go find a bird feeder, little buddy. That was fun. Good to join if you wish. Yeah, you can if you want to. Whoever wants to join, join. Garbage picking bird. There's nothing in there, but maybe. So, Wigwag was asking earlier, what's with all the buckets? Well, I have mulch in two of them. One of them has my gardening fertilizer and things like that, and the other had my bird seed. Well, I left the lid off of the 5 gallon bucket, that little tiny bucket that's sitting on top of that black cart was inside the 5 gallon bucket. And I left the lid off of it, and the squirrels got into it, chewed the lid off of that container, and started eating bird seed. And so I got to throw that out. I should really throw all the bird seed on the ground, and I just got to go to Tractor Supply and get more bird seed. Squirrels, man. If I could, I'd shoot all these damn squirrels. I was showing Wigwag earlier. To the right, where that other trash can is a big tree, big sweet gum tree, and it's got a bunch of knot holes in it, and the squirrels live in there. There's like 6 of them or something. They just have babies. My neighbor shot one of them. I don't know about the others. But what are you going to do, man? I don't mind the squirrels if they didn't destroy shit. They dig in my garden. If they had manners, I'd be okay with them. But they don't have no manners. They're just out there trying to get a nut. I don't quite know if I want to feed them with nuts and stuff. Like Digger feeds his squirrels. I don't quite know if I want to feed them. Used to feed them. I mean, I like them. They're cute little things, right? They're cute, right? They're funny to watch. But when they start tearing your shit up, it's like it's annoying, man. So today, I'm like out watering my garden, and I'm like, this damn pepper plant ain't doing nothing. It's getting big, but I don't see no damn peppers on it. So I downloaded one of those plant ID apps, and it's milkweed. It's not a pepper plant. It's damn milkweed. It attracts monarch butterflies, but I pulled it out of the pot and put it in the corner of my garden. We'll see if it survives or not. Freaking, I don't know how that got there. And then the other pepper plant that I got, I scanned that, and the damn stupid plant app says that it's a Ghost Reaper pepper. I didn't order Ghost Reaper peppers. I'll see if that comes up. I'll see what comes off of that. I would get 10-pound sacks of unsalted in shell nuts. And then what do? You got all these shells all over. They don't eat the shell, right? They just eat the nut. Then you got shells everywhere. Yeah, I don't quite know. If I got nuts, I would get them unshelled. Yeah, unshelled. And get them with no shell. Because I don't want the shell mess. But peanuts ain't cheap, though. Bird feed ain't cheap either. I have Plan ID on my iPhone. Yeah. Oh, it's built into it? Oh, that's pretty cool. No, I just got the app. I don't know. I don't know if this damn thing knows what it's talking about. But it is milkweed, though. Because I did look online and it looks just like milkweed. So much for that. They eat the whole thing? They eat do they eat the shell too? Huh. I didn't think they would eat the shell. Yeah, still. I don't know if I want to feed them. Man, I woke up not feeling good. I had an upset stomach. I just ate something. I just ate some eggs. Yeah, what's up, Mystic? Yeah, because I was testing something out. I was testing my bird feeder out. Bird feeder cam. Backyard cam is what it's turning out to be. Not many people can see the birds. There's not many birds on there. Hey, what's up, Mystic? Oh, I hear a train coming. That's pretty cool. I can watch something else, and uh, that share screen stays there. Hold on, Bob. Hey, Bob. Welcome.
Hey, Jerry, what's going on? It's interesting to see that I don't take over it doesn't change the overall layout of the screen. So that's cool.
Well, no, but I can if I wanted it to.
Well, I know you're in control, man.
Yeah.
It's like you're like a drone pilot in control, you know. You
So
control
how's
everything.
how's your drone test going?
I just was, I started yesterday. I had done, I think it said 5% of the class previously, so I was really just catching up with that. But
Right, just reviewing.
supposedly, if I do an hour a day, every day for 2 weeks, I'll be done with the course. And then I got to go take the test at an airport.
Wow, that much time.
Yeah. So I think I'll probably do it more than an hour a day, try and finish it quicker than that. So we'll see.
Wow.
Another notch in my belt. So yeah, I'm going to start building more bench work. You asked about my bench work progress, and this is as far as I got, this one table.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going, and I need to do a video on that table. I have plenty of footage about it. But I need to lay out how I need to figure out how I'm going to do the turn back loops, because they're going to be more than 80 inches in diameter.
Right.
So I have to figure out how to lay that out, you know, and so that's going to, yeah, because I've got 41-inch minimum radius. So it's going to be like 88 inches total, you know, and I'll want to scenic their loops. So they're going to have to be a little bit, you know, the tracks can't be running right at the edge of the.
So you're going to have two loops, 7 feet?
Yeah, two. It's going to be basically a dog bone, but because it's going to be kind of in a Z shape, there's going to be other turns as well. So,
do you have room for all this?
I'm sorry?
Do you have room?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you use AnyRail, Jerry?
I tried using it. I'm not good at it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I tried using it and I got pretty frustrated.
Yeah, I got really frustrated fast.
Pretty frustrated. I just I don't know. I'm going to go back in and give it one more try, and then you know, I was going to do some track planning over my vacation, but I couldn't find anything that ran on Android, and so I didn't have it. As it turned out, we were
too busy.
Busier than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, as they say.
Yeah.
But we did some ATV. One day we drove an ATV around. You know, we each got to do that up on some of the mountains in Colorado, and that was fun. We did some shooting.
How was your weather?
Weather was good. It might have rained one day, a little bit in the afternoon, but it didn't interfere. I was hoping we'd get one solid day of rain because I didn't want to be constantly ripping and running, you know, and instead the weather was such that we went nonstop. So it was exhausting. It was fun. They're nice people. They're my wife's friends, really. From her law school days, and beautiful. I mean, it's Steamboat Springs, so it's, you know, how the other half lives. Beautiful country, you know, so it's nice. But now we're back. My wife is, of course, depressed.
Why?
You know, well, every time you go and live with the rich people, and it says, "I'm not rich. This sucks."
You know something? Sometimes their grass ain't so great.
So, but you know, it was the guy of the family was really doing a lot of experimentation with AI image creation and stuff like that.
Oh, geez.
And so he made a whole bunch of images for me, thumbnails for potential videos. You know, he just since
Really?
I was there and I'm a train guy, he just started going crazy on trains, researching trains,
Yeah.
researching. You know, so it was that was kind of nice of him. And of course, I went out and did the drone mapping thing for him of the site,
Oh,
and it
so that's
was
what you.
a horrible day. It was bright and sunny, but it had rained and the insects were unbelievable. I mean, I
Yeah.
got, you know, it's like being in Alaska when the insect hatch happens,
Yeah.
right? It was just,
Yeah.
oh,
Never been there, but I heard about it.
it's terrible. It was terrible. But,
Yeah.
and the mapping I didn't quite finish because the winds picked up. You know, when you get up 400 feet in the air, the wind is a lot different than it is on the surface. And
Right.
I was getting all kinds of warnings on my drone. And so I had to bring it back down. But
What does so what's this guy do for a living?
he's retired, but he was a lawyer.
Oh, so they're
He
both
was a criminal defense attorney.
lawyers.
Yeah, yeah. His wife, the three of them met at Stetson Law School in Florida. They're all lawyers. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. They're no different
Yeah.
than you. You're a lawyer.
Now yeah, we're both lawyers too. That's right. So we enjoy each other's company. They have great conversations.
Yeah.
And, you know, but I couldn't do my own thing. You know, I have projects here that need to get done so I can get back to my hobby. So,
Well, now you're back, and you know.
yep, I'm starting to get my legs under me. I'm gonna finish framing up the window on the inside in the workshop, and then I've got to run some electrical line, and then I should be able to hang the sheetrock in there and mud it up and paint it, and then I'll be ready to paint the whole room. You know,
You're not going to get anybody to do anything, right?
I've done it all so far.
Yeah. Okay.
So at this point, I might as well finish up.
Yeah.
Still got a little electrical work. You know, they had disconnected some of the circuits, which I've reconnected, but now I need to just put the plugs in. You know, they'd taken all that out, so I got to put a bunch of plugs in around the perimeter of the room. And one of the there's a 20 amp circuit coming out of the ceiling where they had hung an evaporative cooler. So I'm going to run that line down the wall and add some more power on that wall. They had stripped some of the electrical on the outside wall out to put ice machines outside. This was a beer distributorship, so they had ice machines out there. So I'll just run the line on the inside and put a little power on that wall, and then
that room is going to be your
workshop.
YouTube channel?
That's going to be my workshop. So then I'll be able to roll my spray booth in there, put my workbench in there, storage in there. I'll probably build another work surface against one wall. I'll get a lot of it because right now I'm standing in the main room of the space. So, and I did make some more progress on my bench. Let's see if I can move this without getting everybody completely sick to their stomachs. But you can see.
Oh yeah.
I'm almost done. Another couple hours on that, and I'll have that carved out, and then I'm going to just sand the whole thing down with rough sandpaper because I have to paint the whole thing white. It's kind of a cream color right now, so I'll paint the whole thing white after sanding it, and then I'll go in and detail paint the areas that I carved out, and it'll be good to go. I was just thinking about how to mount it outside. There's a couple of relatively small concrete pads out in the back where the ice machines were.
Yeah.
So I might lever those up and try and move them to wherever I want to put the bench. And I'll drop those down, level them off, and then I can attach the bench to those concrete pads. And I'll be one project down. I'll have that out of the space, and I'll be
on to the next thing, huh?
I'll be good to go. Yeah, my wife went absolutely nuts at one of the Rite Aid store closings. and she bought all kinds of stuff.
Like
And
fixtures.
for nothing. She spent like $75, you know.
Fixtures.
Yeah, fixtures. So right. So there's like this orange rack she bought that's got all Gatorade stuff on it that I need to paint so she can put it's on casters so she can put, you know, her plant supplies and things
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there. And I've got to hang the lights in her grow room. She finally told me where she wants those the day before we left on our vacation. And so I'll be able to, and I bought the pulleys yesterday. So I couldn't find cleats though. So I'm going to have to find some cleats. I couldn't find anything with like a cam action that would, you know, wouldn't have to have cleats.
What do you want them to lower and raise?
Yeah. Lower the, you know, like when the
Yeah.
plants are young, the lights can be right down close to the surface. As they grow, you back off, you know, so she has to be able to raise and lower those lights. So
That's cool. That'll be neat.
and then hopefully I'll be able to get back to I can at least spend some time planning out how I'm going to make the curved bench work, you know, how I'm going to do that.
Yeah, but you got a lot of bench work to do in the meantime.
Well, I could do straight, but I want to.
Hey, Jerry.
Hi, Alfonso.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm running my G-Scale electric frame wirelessly.
Cool.
I don't know Alfonso.
Yeah, he comes into the live stream once in a while. He's
Cool.
a
Hey, Alfonso.
G-Scale.
Nice to meet you.
Hey. Nice to meet you. How are you?
All right. I don't. No, I've certainly not seen your face. I apologize. I'll have to subscribe to your channel.
Yeah. I zoomed into my running my
love
electric
this.
frame.
You got your toy trains running.
It's
Awesome.
G-Scale.
Yeah,
G-Scale.
He's got G-Scale in his house.
that's the big stuff. Now, Jerry,
Yeah.
you were getting ready to do some G outside, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
No,
Nah.
too much. You got enough going on. You're making great progress on your layout, brother.
I got
Love
enough going on. I
Yeah.
can't do. I
I
can't do
prefer G-Scale. It's easy on my eyes, man. G-Scale is a lot easier on my eyes.
Yeah, Alfonso is legally blind.
Is that Alfonso? Is that battery powered, or do you have track power?
I have it where I have an RC where it's USB rechargeable, but the battery it's feeding power back to the rails,
I see.
where it's lighting up my lanterns and my bridge, my accessories. So it's feeding battery power, but it's feeding power back to the rails.
It's feeding power back to the rails.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Run a USB to power my
Oh, I see.
Track side
Run the lights and things on the train.
yeah,
Interesting. So it's all battery powered.
yeah. But it's feeding power back to the rails.
Right. That's interesting. So
That could light up my
how do you recharge it, Alfonso?
USB. Plug
Okay.
in my tender to my USB charger.
You've got a plug on the locomotive
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah, yeah.
Pretty easy, huh?
Is the battery in the locomotive or in a tender?
The tender.
Tender. Okay.
So I
That's
just disconnect the tender and then plug it into my USB charger.
That's the one good thing about G-Scale, Bob. You can hide a lot.
Absolutely. You got a lot of room for a big old battery too.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
But I
I'm
mean, like
trying
the
to.
bigger scale ones, they've gotten small, right?
You can do it, but I'm gonna put a dummy engine in. I'm gonna always have a 2-engine lash up, and then
You
I'll
have the room to do it.
then I'll put the battery in essentially a tender. Right. It'll just be a second locomotive hooked up.
Yeah, you
So-
have the room to run 2 locomotives for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
You
So.
got plenty of room. Yeah.
So basically, what I did with my caboose, I just put like DOT reflector tape to make it look like it's lit up. It's just DOT reflected tape
Oh,
on my caboose.
good idea. It looks very convincing from here.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, and LEDs don't take a lot of power. So
No. LED. I use the LED light to light up my lanterns, my
right,
signals.
right. Where are you located, Alfonso?
Colorado,
What part? What town?
Denver.
Denver. I just came back from Steamboat a couple of days
Steamboat.
ago.
Wow.
Yeah, came
Do you
through
have a
Denver.
caboose?
Went to the Colorado Model Train Museum layout up there in Greeley.
Oh,
That was fun.
are you in Colorado too?
No, I was there on vacation.
Oh, you were there on
I'm in
vacation.
Pittsburgh. I'm in
Oh, in
Pittsburgh.
Pennsylvania.
Yep. So yeah, I enjoyed my time there. On the way to Steamboat, we went through Canyon City and we rode the Royal Gorge Route tourist train as well. So that was
Right.
spectacular.
Is that a diesel?
It was an SD40-2 is their primary power. All their ads show an F unit, which I was hoping it would be, but
Have you ever been to like all the others, like Cumberson and Toltec? And
no. I've been to the Leadville and Southern.
I've been
which is up-
to.
Go ahead.
I've been on the Durango and Silverton.
oh, you've
Okay.
been on that, Alfonso? Yeah.
Yep.
I should have
I
done
got a
that.
video. I got a video posted on my channel, Durango and Silverton, when I went on that train ride in 2017.
Is that in Breckenridge, Alfonso?
No, Durango and Colorado. Durango.
It's in Durango.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Durango and
There
Silverton.
was a tourist railroad, I think, there in Breckenridge as well that ran
No.
along the Yampa.
No, you're talking about Georgetown Loop Railroad. That's not too far from Denver.
Okay. Well, there was a tourist train the last time when I took another holiday in Breckenridge. I won't do that again.
Oh, you're talking about the Victor Cripple
can't
Creek
remember
Narrow
what it
Gauge Rail.
was. I can't
It's,
remember what his steam. It was steam.
Yeah, but was it the 2-foot narrow gauge? The
I think it
Victor
was
and
narrow
Cripple Creek
gauge.
Rail?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was narrow gauge. I lined up to take a picture of it, and then the landowner came out and kicked me out. I still got some pictures, but it was not a pleasant experience. But I saw them in the depot and stuff. I took some pictures. It's been years. I'll have to go back. But you have a wealth of tourist railroads in Colorado. That's for sure.
Yeah, but I tell you, there could be a ripoff if you make your reservation, you gotta make sure you could go. Otherwise, they'll just take your money if you cancel.
Yeah, it wasn't a cheap ticket either, and I was disappointed. I got tickets in the dome car, thinking it would have similar views to the other dome cars I've been in, but theirs, in order to add air conditioning to it, they had blocked off a significant amount of the dome, and so, in hindsight, I wouldn't have spent all that money on a high class ticket. I would have just gotten a regular coach ticket. There was plenty of room to move around the train, lots of dining cars, bar cars, and of course open gondolas.
Yeah,
But-
those aren't cheap to ride either.
Oh no, it was over $100 each,
Yeah.
and that did not include food. Now the food was very good on there, and fortunately we shared a table with a couple where the guy knew a lot more about railroad history than I did, and so he really taught me a lot about that particular route that goes through that Arkansas River Gorge and why it was significant.
Right.
I mean, because before the Moffett Tunnel was built, that was one of the primary routes to get through the Rockies. And and Jerry, that's a crazy route. There's a spot where the canyon is 30 feet wide and it's all riverbed under there. And there was no way for them to build piers. So they actually hung the railroad roadbed off. They put beams across above the water and they hung the railroad. It's crazy. I'll be doing a video about it and I'll show that. And on the way back, we actually stopped under the hanging bridge. And Rose and I happened to be outside in one of the gondolas at that time. And so I got tons of pictures of the hanging bridge.
Oh wow.
Big cracks in it too. I was really, I wasn't
Yeah.
feeling too confident about it.
I wonder who checks them out to make sure they're okay.
Yeah, it was. But since then, when I've come back, I've seen, pictures from when it was supporting freight traffic, full
That's
loaded trains going through
Yeah,
there.
imagine
So
this. I can't wait for you to post that stuff.
it was crazy, but beautiful scenery. I mean, just a narrow canyon with the railroad and a river running through it.
Yeah.
When we were stopped, we looked over the side, and there down in the water would be, whitewater rafters going through and stuff. It was
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful sunny day. And way up above you, there's, zip lining and all kinds of crap going over big bridges and stuff. It was really cool. It was
It's
worth it. And the railroad was, I don't have a ton of tourist railroad experience, but this was first class. I mean,
Yeah.
the depot was beautiful.
What was it called?
The Royal Gorge route.
Royal Gorge Route.
Yeah. And so it was everything was spick and span. The locomotive was beautiful, clean as a whistle. All the passenger equipment was ultra well maintained. It was really, I mean, the Leadville and Southern was nowhere near this quality. Nowhere near this quality. So that was nice. I think my wife enjoyed it. Poor thing has to go to all these rail related things.
Does she
So-
like trains or train rides?
She's
Oh.
game to do it. Her grandfather, who she loved dearly, he was really the father figure in her life. Was a lifelong railroad employee, first with the Wabash,
She grew up where?
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Okay.
So he was with the Wabash, and then the Norfolk and Western, and then the Norfolk Southern. I think he retired when it was the Norfolk and Western. Is that your plug for recharging, Alfonso? Or that's how you connect the two,
Hold
the
on.
tender? I got you.
Hold on.
Alfonso, if you're saying something, we can't hear you. I don't know if you're on mute or not.
Yeah, I don't know why your mic isn't picking up. Try talking. Are you on mute? Did you mute yourself?
We're missing out here.
Yeah.
Oh, he's putting on a new mic. I see.
Sounds like you had a good time out there, but Colorado sounds like a outdoor person's paradise.
Yeah, we saw.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Holy cow! Yeah, you're loud.
Oh, sorry.
No, it wasn't bad. There was a little bit of feedback, though.
But you can hear me now, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I need to charge. I don't know why my mic's not.
So Alfonso, he does audio stuff. He does singing and all.
Okay, very cool. I saw the keyboards
Plays
there. and everything.
instruments.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me now?
sir. Yep, that's
Yeah.
good. Don't put your mouth too close to it, and you're all good.
Yeah.
So you're an audio whiz. I guess
Yeah.
that's more important than video.
Yeah. So this is what I just plugged this into the USB port to the charger.
I
And that's
see.
it? How
What-
long will it run?
1 hour.
Okay. That's
But it
good.
takes overnight to charge the battery overnight.
It takes that long to charge it. You can only run
Yeah.
it an hour. Wow.
Yeah.
Need to buy
That's
a
the
new tender.
downside.
Hey, an hour running trains is probably enough, frankly, unless you're in an operating session.
It's enough for me.
An hour
1
of
hour?
constant running you're not even doing that during an operating session. An hour of constant running, right? You're stopping. So it's,
Yeah, but he's constantly running though.
yeah, he's just driving the loop.
Yeah.
How
Running
big-
it
how
through.
big- So how big is your
Yeah,
train
pretty-
table, Alfonso?
Well, I've got to run across multiple shelves, which is 5 feet wide by 15.
Gotcha. Okay.
Pretty big.
Yeah, because the track radius I'm using is the 30-inch radius, the R2s, the 30-inch radius, so it's a 5 feet diameter curves that I'm using
Yeah,
instead
man.
of the 4 foot. Because I'm
Well,
using the heavy
30-inch
brass.
radius. Yeah, that's right. So you're right at 60 inches. So
Yeah, so I'm using
you
so
must.
I run them on heavy. I'm heavy brass tracks, the brass rails.
I got you.
So you got the good track.
Yeah, I got them. You know, I got the tracks at the thrift store, a whole bag for $20.
Wow,
Whole bag of 16 pieces
that's
of
pretty
brass
good.
tracks.
That's cheap.
Because they're normally like $15 a foot
Yeah,
for G scale tracks. They're normally like $15 a foot.
yeah, they're not cheap.
Well, at least you're not relying on it to transmit electricity, so you can
Yeah,
mix and match material. Well, I guess you are relying on it to transmit electricity because it's powering the other things in your train. I'm sorry. So you still have to
Yeah,
do your track and everything.
yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
like feeding power back to the rails. That's what I'm doing, feeding power back.
Right.
That's
Right. Very cool. It's very cool.
like what's called reverse feed, right?
Right. That's very cool.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't either. I hadn't really
yeah.
thought about that.
Because if they got metal wheels, yeah, like you got the contacts and all that, you know, like. But you do want to be careful. Make sure the rails are not energized by the power pack, because then you could short out your battery, burn out your battery like that.
Oh, wow.
You do want to be careful not to mix the two signals. You look two locomotives, like one you running off track power and the other RC battery. You cannot mix those two signals together. You will have a short and really burn up your battery.
Right. Oh, I see. Right. If you were to power the rails while the battery train was on it, yeah, that
Yeah,
would be it. Instead of doing the reverse feed. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
You
I hadn't
can,
really
yeah,
thought about that aspect of cold rail operations. So that's kind of cool.
yeah. They call it dead rail, but you know, you can still send power back to the rail using the battery through
Right.
a reverse
Right.
feed.
Right. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. I'm not a passenger train guy, but you still might want to power. I still might want to power like a Fred device or something. So
Like
that's
a rear end
hello,
device.
Eugene Kleiss. How you doing?
Like what I do, I 3D print my couplers. 3D print them. So
Oh,
this is
nice.
just a coupler adapter, so you can mate with the hook and loop and the knuckle.
That's pretty cool.
Very nice.
So I came out
You
with this. I designed the coupler adapter. 3D printed, because you know the couplers are expensive to buy. These are the couplers I printed. You know, right here.
right. And
So you can zoom
did
in.
you have to do the 3D design work as well, Alfonso, or could you get that off the internet?
I got it off the internet, but then when I did this one, I kind of combined the two in the design. You know, combined the two together and made some slight adjustment. You know, to match the height.
Works pretty good.
Eugene
Oh yeah,
Kleiss
it worked.
in the chat's talking about his rail fanny today. That sounds pretty productive, Eugene. Looking forward to seeing some of that on your channel.
Hey, Eugene.
I mean, these are very good. You know, 3D printed. They hold up pretty well under a lot of tension, especially with 20+ cars. Because I know the hook and loop don't hold up very well.
Right. Well, that's cool. What kind of 3D printer do you have?
Well, I send them off to my local library. I wish I had a 3D printer, but I usually send them off to get it done at my local library, or you know, I send them off to a place called C3D for the blind, where they do 3D print for the blind.
Oh, cool. I see.
And
Special facility. So you don't
yeah,
you don't have your own printer. That sounds like the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
yeah. Look
Yeah.
at what I 3D printed here.
that's pretty neat.
It's in Braille too. Rail crossing.
Oh, that's neat.
There's
Very
two
cool.
tracks and stop on the red signal.
That's pretty cool.
Outstanding. I love it.
Yeah,
I love that.
it's in Braille, and it just put reflector tape on here too.
Hey, Rick Strange, how are you doing, sir? Good to
Oh
see you
wow,
here.
that's neat. So you don't even have to worry about power in it. Hey Rick, what's up?
No, oh no,
That's pretty
Very
cool.
cool, Alfonso. You do some great stuff. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Hey, he's pretty creative. I didn't know he was this creative.
yeah. You should check out my video. What I do, like when I shoot in front of the green screen, I put myself in my model trains.
You do.
Yeah,
What's the name of your channel,
it's
Alfonso?
AS Blimey Productions.
Alfonso, go into the chat and type something.
Okay.
Just
All
so we
right.
know what your channel is. And
Okay.
so, Jerry, I'm in the middle of listening to a podcast from the Plastic Model Mojo guys, and they're interviewing someone who spent a month in Japan, and it was just amazing. He was talking about how prevalent plastic modeling is in Japan. So he was going through the subway, and Bandai had set up a station where people could get in line and build a plastic kit for free. And there was a long line, and people were building models in the middle of the subway. And everywhere he went, he would turn around and there'd be models for sale. Like he was in the middle of nowhere. He stopped at a, those places you pull over on the side of the highway and get gas and get something to eat. And they were selling Tamiya kits there. The models are everywhere.
Sorry,
And
Rick.
nobody 3D prints. He said
Look
that's
at this
not a
one.
big thing, which was weird. Oh, that is
I got
cool.
this-
Beautiful
I got
color.
this for $3 at the thrift store where I work at, and
Wow.
it works. It's
That's not your
HO
scale, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is too small. I wish I
But
had it in G scale.
or at least you're into Steam, so that's
Yeah.
okay. Thanks for posting on the chat, Alfonso.
You're
After I
welcome.
get off, I will I'll look you up and see what you're doing.
Yeah, I posted his link. Hey Rick, how come you took your layout down?
Golly, Rick, that sounds heart wrenching.
Why'd you do that?
Yeah, I hope there's a good reason for it. He's probably rebuilding. No layout is ever complete, right? So
Oh no, I'm always changing my layout too.
boy, those G scale structures are huge, Alfonso.
Oh yeah, I built a coal tower recently, a couple of months ago, and also built a cover bridge. But they are huge structures.
Yeah, that's just massive. Jerry, you built a big structure yourself, man. That grain silo came out very well.
Yeah, it came out pretty good. It's not as big as you think it is. It's 12 inches tall, but it doesn't take up a lot of space
Footprint wise.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But
Hey,
my coal
looks
tower
good.
is like 3. My coal tower is like 3 feet tall.
Wow.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, this is
once
my
you moved
other
away from the
locomotive.
camera, I saw that little barn behind you was bigger than you.
Yeah. I got that barn at a yard sale a few years ago for $5.
So is
Now,
that
this is my
battery powered too?
Yep. Except this one got shorted out because what happened with I have trouble keeping on the track. This part won't stay on. So what happened every time this with the front wheel keeps jumping off, it's causing a short. So what happened? It really short out my RC module.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah.
Darn.
So now to replace the RC module, it's like about $130.
Wow.
And it's just going to short out again until you fix that problem with that.
Yeah. I don't know why it won't stay on this front part. I have trouble keeping on the track and keep jumping off.
Right. Wow. Got to solve that. Boy, but that's a beautiful locomotive, and I like the Colorado flag.
Yeah, I put
Hey,
the flags on
Trackside
there.
Mike, what's going on, man?
I put the flags on there.
Oh, so you took your swing gate out. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You see
With
that
my Rio
lettering,
Grande-
that Rio Grande lettering there on Alfonso's Sierra. That's the same lettering style they used with the Royal Gorge,
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
with those tails, those big tails on the letters.
Yeah.
Surprised they can get away with that with intellectual property being as it is. That's a beautiful locomotive and tender set, though,
Yeah, but
Alfonso.
is Rio Grande still around? Like, who would go after you?
I'm sure they're bought by somebody.
Yeah.
Probably UP at the end of the day, and they're very jealous about their intellectual property. I know that.
Yeah.
I've heard people complaining about it online.
Really?
Hey Dave, what's going on? He was testing a Wise camera in his backyard to catch birds.
Testing this thing out. Testing that out.
So you still have turnouts, Jerry?
Me? Yeah, I
Just
still
go,
got
yeah.
turnouts. Yeah, but I think I might have it sold though. I think I might have all my tracks sold.
One of them sold.
I have them all sold, I think.
Okay. Because I'm looking for the turnout, but they're so expensive.
Yeah. Which one did you need? A right or a left?
Both to get a sighting.
Oh, two of them. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right, Dave. It wasn't a bad picture from that little Wise camera. Jerry was trying to zoom with it, and obviously it doesn't have that.
Yeah, I wonder if you still had any extra turnouts available.
Yeah, I'll let you know if I do.
Okay.
Goofing off at work, Dave? You're almost ready to go home, aren't you? Ain't nobody there to bother you.
Dave, I watched your second piece on the incline build. Nice job. Nice job. Very nice video. It looks like it's coming out very well. You work
So how can
cleanly
I-
and neatly.
So how can I fix this part if it's not staying on the track? What
We've
what
got
would I
a
need?
guy online who might be able to help.
I don't know.
Dave at DB Tech does a lot of these old tin plate stuff, Alfonso. So, Dave, you should. Alfonso's having problems with this front truck on this steamer coming off the tracks and shorting the locomotive, and it burned out his decoder.
Show us the bottom of it.
Just the bottom right here, the bottom part.
Yeah.
Does it have? Oh, I see. So it's slotted in there, and it
Yeah.
slides across that fastener.
Yeah.
And have you tried tightening down on that fastener a little bit just to reduce the amount of play, or is that play critical for going around a turn? I guess.
It's critical for going around the curves. It's critical.
Right, but maybe if it's moving up and down,
Yeah.
maybe if you tightened it a little bit, it would still be able to rotate and slide,
well, it's
but it
it's
wouldn't.
tight.
bump.
It's all the way. It's all the way in. You know. It's
It
all
is
the way in.
okay. Well, maybe
Yeah.
put a washer on it then. You know.
Maybe it's just a bad design.
A bad design, then, right?
Yeah.
I
Well.
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, because like
So there's no power. There's no power pickup on that truck, right, Alfonso?
somehow it is. Yeah.
So maybe you could electrically isolate that truck from the body of
Okay.
the locomotive. Then if it does jump off the track and short out, it won't short out the decoder again because
Okay.
power won't be transmitted. So you could maybe put a non-conductive washer in between the truck
Right.
and the body of, take the screw out, take that truck off, and put a washer in there that is made out of fiber or something
Right.
that would electrically isolate that truck.
Okay.
It's
And it might also reduce the amount of play. Like a fiber washer is kind of soft,
Right.
and it might reduce the amount of play in that truck enough to keep it on the tracks. I don't know.
DB Tech. It's G scale. It's not Lionel. It's G scale.
Isn't Lionel G? What's Lionel?
Oh,
Oh, okay. 148th. Got it. And G is 132nd, right?
Well, there's
20.
variants. We have variants in
Yeah.
G scale. You got 132nd for standard gauge, and you got 130, 122 and a half for meter gauge, and then you 1 to 20th for 3-foot narrow gauge.
Okay. Wow.
So that's variants, and there's like 5 different variant scales and G scale. Then you got
Right.
124 scale, like for basically for the accessories,
But I do think electrically isolating that truck would be a
Okay.
good idea before you replace the decoder. That way you don't risk frying another decoder. You don't need that to happen. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
going to jump
because
at 4
it's an
o'clock.
RC,
Terry,
it's
just
an
to let
RC
you know.
module. It's not DCC. It's analog by over
gotcha.
RC radio control.
It's not quite as expensive as a DCC decoder.
Yeah,
But it's
but still, I looked
still-
online. Look for like what Pico has. They're about about $90, $100 for their RC module.
I see. Not cheap. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still
Well, it looks
What-
great, and I'm sure you'll get it running eventually. But I love the flags, Colorado flags.
Yeah, I put the flags on I designed the flag. I printed them and
More
I put the
creativity,
flags.
Terry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wonder
that's what I
what's
like.
I wonder what's catching, with the truck, with that front truck is catching on. That's making
I think it has to do with the rail joints. The clickety clack and all that.
yeah, maybe some of your joints are too big. I don't know.
Or
Uneven.
Kind of
yeah,
the rails, maybe. Yeah, because I do feel there's some slight variance.
there's probably not much weight on that front truck.
Yeah,
That would be another thing to test. Would be when you get it running again, just put some weight on the top of it on the front and see if it improves the tracking of that truck on the front. Then you could, and if that's
Yeah, but-
true, then you could put some weight inside the boiler that would keep that
yeah.
thing on its
I
track.
put a lot of weight on. I put what I did. I did put a lot of weight on this because when it was first given to me for Christmas last year, it didn't have much. It
see.
had a lot of problems tracking.
Okay.
It had a lot of problems tracking. Like it was
Already investigated that apparently.
yeah.
He's pretty intuitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. The only problem I can't get the truck to stay on.
Right.
That's the only problem. But the rest, it's just fine. The only thing I had to do is replace the traction belt too, like with O-rings.
The other thing I'd want to make sure of, Alfonso, is that front truck
Yeah,
is exactly lined up with the drive wheels. If it's too high, that front
Yeah.
truck, then it's not really making regular contact with the rail.
right.
And so you might want to push it down again by putting a washer in between the truck and the frame of the locomotive to push
Right.
that front. But I'd want to make sure that those are, I'd want to set it down on a table where you can look at them and see if that front truck is maybe just a hair higher than the drive wheels. Then it might be floating around too much, no matter what you do to it. So
Yeah,
you might want to
I try
drive
to
that
keep it-
down.
I try to keep it balanced.
I
Keep
wonder
it balanced.
where it mounts if it's a screw. If you put a little tiny spring in there.
Ah, spring, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
a
a good
spring.
idea.
A
That's
spring
a
should
good
hold it
idea,
down,
Terry.
right?
I would
Yeah,
think so.
that's a good idea, Jerry.
Yeah, pressure
Yeah.
down.
A spring should kind of hold it down, right? Like a suspension, right?
That's
what it
right.
does.
That's right.
You would think it would. Yeah.
That's right. That might help.
Who makes
Yeah.
that? Who makes it? Bachman?
No, this is by Easy Tech.
Hmm.
Easy Tech G scale.
Okay.
Don't know them. No
Yeah.
relation to DB Tech, I guess.
Easy Tech.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, but like I said,
So Jerry, what's next on your layout?
I
yeah.
don't-
Now here are the cheaper ones that you find at Home Depot or Walmart around Christmas times.
yeah.
Hey,
These are the
hey,
cheaper
Mystic.
ones.
It's all plastic.
Yeah,
Right.
and these really do short out too. You know, these will not stay on the track. You see, it's so light.
Yeah,
Right.
They will not hold. They will not stay on the track.
probably be good if you just had a little circle or something.
Yeah,
Good for
yeah,
static
easy.
display only.
Yeah.
Mystic, what are you doing, buddy? Buddy, what do you got going on? What you got going on in the layout?
Yeah, but easy tech.
He missed his video today. He
Oh, did Mystic post today? Yeah, I haven't been on.
yeah, he had a video about the steam train he was on.
Oh, cool. Yeah, as soon as I got on, this Boxcar Jerry guy was on, so I haven't done anything. Editing another video you just posted. Take a breath, man.
He's got to post a bigger one. He's
I
on
did
the
a
road.
short. I recorded a short today. I've got to get it up there. I got this wallet years ago from a place called Saddleback Leather in Texas.
You ever
And
seen
they
a
guarantee everything for life. And
a
my wallet broke,
railer ramp?
and they replaced it. So, what did we look at here? Oh, okay, that's a re-railer.
Yeah, to make it easy to load the.
Yeah, that's cool.
Onto,
And you 3D printed that, Alfonso?
yep. Well, yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
yeah. This is just a sample track. I 3D printed the rail. See what would it look? How would it come out to?
Cool.
That's pretty neat. And they do it at the library.
Yeah. Yeah, but the bigger stuff I had to get it 3D printed through Ohio
Yeah.
Center for the Blind. C3D.org.
Do they charge you?
No, it's free. If you're blind, it's free.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Too
Like-
bad you have to do that reverse charging of the rails from the battery, or you could do your whole layout in that.
Yeah.
That stuff. You could get your turnouts printed and that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Nah,
was
but,
something.
yeah, but the turnouts are too big to print.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the printers here are too small for it. And then if I send it to Ohio, it takes about 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Free
this is
has
what I
its
used.
cost, huh?
Yeah. So this is what I used to load this locomotive on the track.
Yeah, works good.
Yeah, because this was the one that I have a hard time loading it. That's
So
a hard one to load.
Dave, that video you're working on, is that part 3 of your incline build? It's moving right along.
Okay, you ever seen a 3D printed train rail?
You printed that too?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And you
Designed
got Braille and Sprout.
Yeah. Yep.
That's cool.
Is that the
You have
name
to
of
wanna-
is that the name of your railroad on there, Alfonso?
Yep.
Okay, Saddle Rock
Yeah.
Ridge
And
and
the Copperleaf Canyon.
Copperleaf Canyon Railroad. I love it.
Yeah. You do not want to drop this on your foot because then it's gonna hurt.
It's not a hollow casting.
No,
That's cool.
because this is my pictures that I've taken of my model train when I go for my walks on the trail. I take it outside and take close shots.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, Alfonso, who printed that big piece of rail for you?
I had it done through C3D for the blind.
Okay, they did it for you.
Yeah. My New Mexico, Colorado, because I'm originally from New Mexico.
The Z in
New Mexico,
there.
Colorado.
Yes.
Yeah. Texas,
See the
New
Z.
Mexico. Yeah. And got some rail spikes 3D printed.
Ah. That's cool.
Got
Yeah,
spray on it too.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
And I got this train whistle. Yeah. I had a bigger one made, but it got damaged in the shipping.
Oh,
Let me
that's
see.
okay.
Yeah.
Time
Can
to
you
get
glue
the
it
glue
back
bottle out. Get your glue bottle. Get your.
No, yeah, but once
Get
it's
your-
broken, that's it. You can't fix it.
Oh, you can't. There's not enough surface to use CA on it, I would think.
No, no, because I think this is like PLA or something now.
You got a whole box of stuff.
Yeah.
We're getting a tour of Alfonso's creative life here. I love it.
Oh yeah. Like
How
let me
old
see
are
where's
you,
my 3D.
Alfonso?
I'm 41.
41. Okay.
Same as you, Jerry.
I'm older, Alfonso. That's okay.
Like this is a 3D printed farm tractor right here.
That's cool.
Yeah. 3D printed.
And that's more of that reflective tape on the front wheels.
Yep.
That stuff's very effective.
Oh yeah, it works really well on my model train. I love that reflector tape. I got a few rolls that I had some. I knew some guys in the truck industry that gave me some.
I see. Very
See,
cool.
you hear the rolls right here,
Yeah, yeah.
but they're expensive. I heard they're expensive.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
They're about like what, $130 for a roll.
A big roll, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Small rolls,
But
like
they only,
30, 40 bucks. Yeah.
yeah, the smaller ones, yeah, but like
Yeah.
but they have the good kinds.
Yeah.
But
So
they're
Jerry,
not.
I didn't hear, Jerry, what your next project is. No,
Oh,
nothing
yeah.
planned yet.
I mean, I'm just messing around with stuff.
Dave, Alfonso's in Denver.
I made some samples to see how I'm going to do my concrete.
Oh, I saw those earlier. You were showing that. It was
Yeah.
interesting. You put the texture on top of the color, but since the texture's clear, it's cool.
Yeah, I'm just following what Boomer did. That's it. I'm not
Gotcha.
coming up with this on my own. Yeah.
It's a good guy to copy from.
Yeah, he's pretty talented. I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel.
Now,
All
look,
right.
I got a high tech camera car.
That's pretty neat.
And I
You
just
know-
put my
You
my GoPro.
GoPro
Yep,
and you put it on your railroad.
yep.
I love it.
And then
That's
how I record my my train ride videos.
That's pretty cool.
It's high tech, made from old computer parts, as you can see.
Yep.
Huh.
Old PC boards that don't work anymore.
That is creativity at its finest right there, Alfonso.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
High tech.
That's pretty neat.
Not everyone has the courage to do something like that. That's awesome.
And with 3D printed couplers, I could have spent like $24 for a pair of couplers
Right.
normally.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything for G scale is not cheap. It's expensive.
Yeah. It's big.
Yeah.
Big stuff, you know?
It's like
Yeah,
having
but
a twin
unfortunately, I have to stick with that scale because it's easy on my eyes. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's easy for you to see it. Yeah.
But not financially accessible for me.
So Alfonso, you can see somewhat, right? Shadows.
Yeah. Well, I can see up close. I just can't see far off. Like right
Okay.
now, I'm looking at you on my big 48-inch monitor.
Holy cow! 48 inches. Wow,
Yeah, that's
man, Bob, I'm bigger than life.
Me too.
Me too. Wow, 48 inches. Man, that's got to be something. That's awesome.
That's a good size monitor there.
it's just a regular TV, 48-inch TV.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's you're an inspiration, Alfonso. You really are. You know,
Yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
you're overcoming a real
My limitation.
disadvantage, and that's
Yeah.
very impressive. You know,
Yeah, you've
none
not
of
let your
none of
blindness.
us should be complaining about any obstacles we're facing. Look what Alfonso has achieved. You know, really,
Well,
it's
I
awesome.
tell you what, I'm gonna tell you this. I envy those that could drive. You know why? Because when I was in college, I had a faculty tell me that I'm missing out on all the freedom in the world of not being able to drive.
I don't know if it's so great, Alfonso.
Dave, the link is up
Because
above in the
because
chat. Just got to
he
scroll
told
up.
me that if I could drive, I could have all the freedom in the world to go anywhere anytime I want, pick up chicks on the side of the road.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
Yeah, I don't think that's such a great thing.
Yeah, that's what this faculty told me.
But they don't know, Nelson. Yeah,
So
but
I would like because
you,
You know,
that's why sometimes I envy those that could drive.
the world is getting a lot smaller with digital
yeah,
entertainment, with Amazon deliveries.
I mean, it's nice to be
People
able
are
to
spending
drive.
more and more time at home, because they can. So it makes life a little bit easier for those who can't drive.
Yeah.
Right, that's
Yeah,
true.
I get it. I get it.
Have
But
you ever
I mean, half of the streams, Jerry's complaining about drivers.
drivers stink?
So you don't want to have that. There are some downsides to driving. You got to deal with the other drivers on the road who
Yeah,
have no concept that they think they're alone on the road.
Okay.
I mean, they're just crazy. They will
Yeah.
do unpredictable things.
Alfonso, how long have you been blind? Your whole life?
Since birth, yeah,
So, Alfonso, you've never seen it, so you're not missing nothing. You can't miss something you've never seen.
right.
So, for your college professor or whoever to say that to you, that's not fair. That's insulting.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that, but I just ever since then I've been envying those who could drive.
Man, don't envy us. It's nothing to be envious about.
You have experiences that we don't have.
Yeah, here's the thing, right, Alfonso? Your senses are much more refined than say mine or Bob's. And look at your creativity. Like you're more creative than some people I know that are vision capable.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely. You're amazing.
Man, don't
Yeah.
yeah, it's just
Don't let them get you down.
don't let them
Yeah. Your sense of hearing, your sense of touch is much more refined
you know why
than
we said
cavemen like Jerry and I.
why they probably said that to you is because they're jealous that you have all these other senses and skills.
I don't know why anybody would say that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, but it was a faculty member that told me.
man.
A
They don't
faculty.
Nelson. Don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because sometimes I ride around with friends and all that and family that they got these really nice cars, smart car, Bluetooth, GPS, and all that.
And they ain't that great either.
It's just something to take you from place to place at the end of the day. Other than that, it's a status symbol. I mean, for some people, cars are a status symbol.
Oh yeah, for a lot
And but that's pretty shallow thinking, really.
Yeah,
But-
and
there's a lot of people like that out there though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. My wife among them.
Yeah,
That's why she drives a Mercedes and I drive a Toyota.
yeah.
what I wanted to do is I wanted to drive a train, a real train.
You could do that. You could do that.
Drive a real one.
Yeah, I'm sure you could go somewhere and
Pay for a driving experience.
pay for an experience. I'm going to do one in November. They're going to be there with you, so that it's not like you're going to be on your own.
I mean,
You're on the rails. Where are you going to go? You can't turn.
Right.
You can't turn left.
But I
right.
tell you what, the closest job I ever, back in 2009, I'm gonna tell you the closest job I ever had closer to the railroad, was when I worked at Walmart as a car pusher,
Oh yeah.
where I got the remote in my hand, running the train, going,
Right.
all the carts like,
But
really, like,
how did you do
well,
that? You pushed the carts with that little cart machine. How did you not
yeah.
get off?
Well, the manager that hired me knew that I was blind, and he was fine with him. But after 3 months, 3 6 months, they were getting complaints left and right that I was almost getting hit by cars in the parking lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So like you were out there, you didn't see the cars, but
Right.
yeah. So you
Like
just kept,
I was more focusing on the train itself
yeah, your
than my
car.
surroundings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
more focusing on the train,
Right.
blowing the horn and running it,
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
remote control, one hand on the train and the other hand on the remote.
You were living.
Yeah, like a train engineer on the Walton Narrow Gauge Railroad. I mean, choo 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 choo. Yeah, back in 2009, man. But I tell you what, then after 6 months, they put me inside maintenance, cleaning, and I'm fine with that. And
Yeah.
then, and then 2 weeks shy being a year, they sent me out to go collect trash in the parking lot. Then all of a sudden, driving out with a big old trash car, kind of obstructing my vision.
Yeah.
And then what happened when the moment I rolling out, a car slammed by. He sends my trash car and everything's flying.
Yeah. That's
I
not.
did not see the car.
Yeah. That's not. That's not good.
And then after that, my manager told me, you know what, I'm gonna have to put you on medical leave of absence. And you cannot come back unless you have job code permanently.
Yeah.
So he
So-
let me go on a medical leave of absence. Told me not to come back, basically.
Yeah. That's. But you're probably better off.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, there was
gentlemen,
an
I am going to exit here. I've got to focus on my objectives for the day. I didn't expect to go live, but it's
Sorry.
been great meeting you, Alfonso. Thank you, Jerry, for letting me come
Good.
on. Everybody in chat, I really appreciate seeing you guys.
Sorry to detour your or sidetrack your day.
I knew it was a danger when I logged on to YouTube. I should have. I didn't have to. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really exhausted. I hit the gym this morning for the first time in a couple of weeks, and everything in my body aches basically. So
You gotta take it easy sometimes, Bob. It's okay.
well, just trying to get back into. it, But
All right.
yeah.
Have a good rest of your
So-
day.
all right, yeah, I'll probably be online later after I've gotten a few things done. Alfonso, great meeting you. Take care, buddy.
Great meeting you. You too.
See ya. Where you at, DB Tech? Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Alfonso, do you work now?
Oh yeah, I work at the thrift store.
Oh, okay,
Been there
cool.
6 years.
Thrift store is pretty neat.
Yeah, I've been there 6 years
You get first.
already.
You get first takes on good stuff when it comes in. Especially
Not really.
well, like you can get it when something cool comes and you want it.
Yeah, when
right?
it once it gets priced, yeah.
Yeah.
So once they price it, yeah, once out on the floor, we could get it.
Do you see a lot of G scale stuff?
Once in the blue moon.
Yeah. I would
But
think there'd be a lot.
what's most common are HO and N scale are the most common.
Hey, what's happening?
DB Tech, look at you.
Hey,
You got your little beard going on.
yeah. I usually cut that off around May, and kind of let it go a little bit because it was a little cool this year.
You look pretty cool.
Well, thank you. It's see over here. It's all gray, so you can't really see it too well. So it looks like it's not there.
Yeah, it looks like you just have something here.
Yeah.
You don't see what's going here.
Yeah. So I'm not sure I like that, but that's the way it is.
It's a cool look. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me get the door here real quick. Hold on. Hang on.
Now you dress up for work, huh?
I guess they can knock on that door. You gonna take Patricia? Okay.
What time you get done?
Oh man. Yeah, I shouldn't say there's nobody here. It's actually a class going on, and the one person usually needs a ride to the train, so I wanted to make sure she had a ride to the train. That's all.
She got a ride.
Yeah. The other girl will take her.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not too quiet, huh?
Yeah, there's the two in there, and then there's a class. The class has 2 students in it, so
That's
yeah.
it. 2.
Yeah, we're trying to get more in here. I mean, this is a summer class, so that's all we have for now. We're scheduling more for the fall, and we've been really working on just trying to get students in here. As much as we can. We're like, well, whatever you want to take, let us know, and then we'll try and schedule you.
Yeah, that's cool. Maybe you should teach model train model train course, scenery, repair.
Sure. Anybody that comes in, if they want to talk about trains, they come to my office and we'll talk about it all day.
Do you have trains in your office?
I have model railroader magazines sitting around, and I have
That's about it, right?
yeah.
Do you have Garden Railway magazine?
Nah, model railroader.
Yeah, Model Rail, but I'm talking about this also Garden Railway magazines.
Yeah. They have it in there. So Alfonso, you have you have the big G scale there. Are those,
Yeah.
So those are newer ones. They're not from the 1950s or something, right?
No, they're
Okay.
like more recent. Yeah,
Okay.
but except a lot of them were given to me or my friends, or find them in the thrift store and I get them real cheap.
Actually, that's kind of funny because yes, a lot of people end up they have them and they don't know what to do with them, and they end up going to the thrift store. And I have found those G scales at the thrift stores.
Yeah, do you see a lot of Lionel at the thrift store too, or
mostly G scale.
yeah?
I prefer like I said, I prefer G scale because it's easy on my eyes.
Yeah, you can see G scale for you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, once I start stepping down like O gauge, it starts to get a little difficult. But HO, it's too difficult for me.
Yeah, HO is tiny for you.
Yeah,
It's like N scale for me.
Yeah. The N scales, I just have to kind of put them on the track and like hope they make it in there. Wait till you hear a click, and then you know that it's in there.
Yeah.
Actually, what I got here, it's a ramp.
I saw what you had there. That is too cool.
The re-roller. Yeah.
Okay, so that fits inside those 2 spaces, and then it has nowhere else to go. Okay, that is too cool.
Kind of like the ones they got for HO and N scale. They got them for N scale. I think
they got it for all scale.
Yeah.
I do have one for N scale. Someone gave me a couple N scale trains, and they had one of those in it.
Yeah, you need them.
Yeah.
It makes it easier.
I do like those the re-railer track.
Yeah.
They're pretty handy. So
they're called inline re-railers. Inline re-railers.
Yes.
Do they have for G scale?
That I don't know.
They do. LGB does have them, but they're expensive. They're like $30.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. They did make a. You know what? You could probably 3D print one.
Oh yeah, that's what I did on my other side of the layout. 3D printed some grade crossing.
Oh crap! I gotta have to get this. Hold on a second.
So like I said, like 3D printed most of my parts from my G scale because can't believe the structures and the accessories are expensive.
Do you 3D print the structures too?
Well, the structure I made it from popsicle sticks and stuff like that, like my cold tower.
Yeah. Oh, you made your cold tower from popsicle sticks.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
From the large. Yeah. It took a lot. It took quite a bit. So did my cover bridge.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Do you have any videos on your channel that are like a tour? Listen to me. that are like a tour of your layout to show your
Yes.
entire layout?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do. You check out my channel, you see some of
Yeah.
the videos.
Yeah.
I'm always updating.
Yeah, I'll have to check and see.
Yeah. Because before I used to have my model train on the floor, and I just finally had enough having it on the floor. So I took everything off the shelf, lay them down sideways, put everything back on the shelf, which it took me 2 weeks. And then as soon as I was done with that, I put everything back, and then start laying out the tracks again.
Yeah, it's a lot better doing it this way.
Yeah. And one of the reasons is because I got tired of having the floor, because I haven't having to end up stepping on
Yeah,
the
step
little
on
crossing
the
stick,
Yeah.
the sign, the cross box, the crossing signals, breaking them. And
You gotta be careful.
yeah, I already broke a few of them, and that's it. I had it. I can't keep breaking my signals. I don't want to do that because they get expensive over time.
Yeah,
And
but you
and
that
then
must be
and then and then another reason is that if I want to run my leg train, I have to get down to the floor at eye level and I have to lay down. But another reason that I've been falling asleep with the train on running.
yeah, but it'll just die. You don't have to worry. Right?
Yeah, yeah. It's like I got tired of doing that, man. Yeah, but some of my locomotives are track power, so I end up sleeping with those on, running all night.
Oh, the room you're in, that's a big room.
It's a basement, yeah,
Okay, you're in the basement. That's pretty big.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, your trains take up a lot of room.
Oh yeah, G scale does.
Yeah, I mean, it's 15 feet.
15 feet by 5 feet, basically.
Yeah.
Like, let me show you some of my G scale accessories.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's in braille as well, so
Oh, that's cool. That's neat.
it's hot pink.
Yeah. they printed that for you at that place?
At the library, yeah.
Oh, the
Because these are
library.
small.
The
Yeah,
library printed it.
yeah. This was printed in Ohio.
Okay. Yeah, it's nice that the library prints stuff.
Yeah, your local library should have a 3D printer.
Yeah.
You might
That's
want
good.
to check with your local library too. They might have a 3D printer.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, where you could download STL files. I'm pretty sure there's STL file for HL, N scale, whatever. There's
Yeah, there's tons of them out there.
yeah. Yep. So 3D printed these right here. So imagine buying these. I can imagine how expensive they are. Like $30 each.
Yeah, probably easy in G scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Who else is out here in chat land? Who's here? Mystic, Wigwag, you guys still here?
Let me see.
Rick had to go back to work.
Yeah, and there's another great accessory you can also 3D print, called a track clip, attachment clip. So it attaches underneath your track, like get some accessories or whatever, like your signals, stuff like that.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
It's a 3D printed.
And you put stuff on there? Did I freeze up? No, you froze up, Alfonso. Zoning out, listening, huh? Yep. DB Tech dropped out, I guess. Alfonso, you froze up.
Yes.
There you go.
Sorry.
You're,
Yeah, my internet keeps going out.
yeah, sometimes that happens.
Yeah. Yeah, so you could 3D print these. I know these are like $24 each from LGB, and you could just
Oh, so it's something that LGB sells.
yeah,
And what would you put on there? Signals?
yeah, signals.
Okay.
That's what they're for.
Oh, okay.
Or you saw there's also like let me see what I got.
Ooh, shoot.
These are just like cable management tools. It goes
Oh,
underneath the track to
put
keep
cable.
your cables. Yeah, cables like wires. Cable management clip
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
along the track. Yeah, in order to keep it organized. Keep all your
Yeah,
cables.
that's pretty cool.
I wish they had it. I don't know. I don't know if they have it in smaller scale.
Yeah, I don't know. So that goes, you see it on top of the layout, right?
Yeah, this goes on top of the layout. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
right underneath the track, in between the ties, underneath the rails, in between the ties.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, it's a neat way to do things.
Yeah, it's a
I
great
don't,
way.
I don't think they have it in N scale.
No, I don't know if you ever notice that in scale track. You ever notice like the tie spacing is the same as G scale?
The spacing, is it?
Yeah,
No, I
like
never know.
there's like yeah, and then the rail thick, then the height of the rail for N scale, it's way oversized for N.
Is it?
Yeah,
Well, I guess it can only be so small. It's got to do something. Yeah, I guess it is kind of big for N scale.
so it looks like so like where if you compare with N and G scale, it's like G scale is like magnified version of N scale because the way the track is and all that.
Right.
Yeah,
Hmm. Never thought about it like that. Yeah, I guess
yeah,
some things you just can't do in scale because they just don't. It wouldn't hold up.
yeah, because the tie spacing is not accurate, 100% accurate. Actually, Atlas, they came out with a true N scale track with the finer rail, the Code 55 fine rail, and the tie
Yeah,
spaces are much.
I'll be right back. I'm going to get something to drink, and you hold the show, okay?
Yeah, yeah. So N scale, from Atlas, they came out with the Code 55 rail versus Code 80 rail because basically Code 80 rail for N scale was originally developed in Europe. Their scale ratio is more like 1 to 160, less a little bit bigger, more like 1 to 150 a scale, and American scale 1 to 160, and N scale is a lot smaller, but the scale ratio depends what country you're in. Because like printed with G scale, there's different variants of the scale models, and then I think in scale they have like 2 or 3 variants of the scale ratio, 1 to 160th, or 1 to 152, 140th, 140th, something like that. Because a lot of the scale models in Europe, they have variances to to match their prototypical scale. So that's why in scale looks very similar to G in some sense because their tie spacing and their the rail profile is a lot it's oversized for the actual scale. But like I said, because you look at a piece of N gauge track, you're more looking at a piece of in scale wise, looking at a narrow gauge. Yeah, Code 80. That's a little bit oversized for N scale. You're using like it's more like a narrow gauge track. Yeah, yeah, Code 80. That's like more for narrow gauge. Like if you run like HON3, that's like narrow gauge railroad. You're muted.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. Thanks. Forgot about
Yeah,
that. Yeah, but you can only get so small,
yeah,
and it would break.
yeah. Like there's Code 40 rail like for N scale, but that's too fragile.
It's small, yeah. Even
Yeah.
Code 55 is small.
Oh yeah, that's very delicate. I heard that from what I heard that Code 55 is very fragile too. Code
What's up?
55 rail.
What's up, Eugene? So, what days do you work every day?
I work on Thursdays.
Just Thursday.
Yeah.
So you got work tomorrow, huh?
Yep. Got to get up early.
What time you go into work?
9, but I catch my ride at 7, so I have to get up at 6.
Wow. Okay. How far is how far is work?
20 minutes
No,
bus
okay.
ride.
And then you
But
get there
sometimes
early.
yeah, but sometimes it could take me up to 2 hours each way.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Wow, that stinks.
yeah,
Do you take the bus?
yep.
Don't they have like paratransit or something that you could take?
That's what I take. The paratransit. That's why the paratransit could take a long time.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, the paratransit it could take. If I'm lucky, I could get to and from within 20 minutes, but usually it could take me up to 2 hours each
Okay.
way.
So you never know.
Right? You never know.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the paratransit they load people up in wheelchairs, and that takes them like
Yeah,
15,
that
20 minutes each to load them up and tie
yeah,
them down.
yeah. Well, it's a good thing you only got to go there one day a week.
Yeah. Plus, it's more expensive here. The paratransit it's like $5 each way.
Yeah. That's not too bad though.
Well, I think it's expensive because where I'm from in New Mexico, we've only been in Colorado 7 years. Where I'm from in New Mexico, the paratransit is $2 and their fixed route like like 50 cents.
Wow. Yeah, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
How come you moved to Colorado?
Well, I had legal circumstances. I had to be up here, family matter.
Gotcha.
I had to be up here on the court order. That's the reason why
Gotcha.
I didn't have a choice.
I
So
see.
I had to be. Yeah. So like I said, like
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, right?
yeah, yeah. Like I said, like I've been running my electric train, shooting some video footage.
Are you done building your layout, or you keep adding stuff to it?
Sometimes I keep changing stuff around.
Do you?
Yeah.
So why do you want turnouts? What do you want to do with them?
I want to add a siding
Okay.
because the way I'm running my train is, I think the train is too long for the layout.
Okay.
I think it's a little bit too long.
So what would happen if you just shorten your train?
I don't have nowhere else to store my other rolling stocks.
Oh, okay. So you got a lot of rolling stock. All your rolling stock is on your layout.
Yeah.
You got too much stuff.
To me, yeah, I like to run long train, but the layout's not big enough for that.
Yeah.
Like,
You-
plus, I got my other Christmas set under my bed. which I'll pull that out on Christmas time. And
Okay.
I have like 10 rolling total of 10 rolling stocks on my Christmas that's from my Christmas set.
How many cars do you have on your train now?
20.
20.
Yeah.
Wow. And that one engine can pull them.
Oh yeah. Both
Wow.
my engine could pull them each.
20 cars. I wonder how many cars it could pull.
Yeah.
How many do you think it could pull?
I want to say maybe 25 max, maybe.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot. Those things aren't heavy. Those cars are pretty heavy, aren't they?
Well, actually, my first, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My first 6 cars are heavy. My passenger cars are heavy, and the
Yeah.
rest are they're too light.
Okay.
They're
So
too
maybe that,
light.
yeah.
Yeah, like I put the heavy ones on the front.
Hey, Wigwag, or hey, Mystic, what do you think the wife would say if you started a G scale layout? Mystic does N scale.
Yeah, and scale, I want to be able to handle it, man. That's too small.
It's too small. Yeah. Have you always been into trains, Alfonso?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
always been.
Even as a little kid?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Put up a G scale layout, Mystic.
You can put it around your garden too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Put it outside my garden, but I don't feel like messing with it.
Yeah, but you see the tracks that you had, they're the hollow shape. They're the hollow. The
Yeah,
rails are hollow.
they're not good for outside, right?
No, plus they're not good for the heavy locomotives
Yeah.
because the rail will bend inwards.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah, when you get tracks like that, you want to make sure you get like aluminum rail or brass or stainless steel. Like make sure like they're solid rail, not hollow.
Yeah. Probably be okay for those trains that you're running, right? Because they're not really heavy. But if you got
Well,
into bigger,
I already warped some of those cheap Bachmann tracks.
did you? How'd you work?
Yeah,
How'd you do that?
with my heavy locomotives.
Really?
Oh yeah, when I used to have them on the floor, because all the weight is pushing down,
Yeah.
pushing inward.
Yeah. Huh. How about that?
Yeah, that's why the Bachmann train sets. That's why the locomotives are heavier.
Yeah.
But that's why those tracks they warp over time
Hey,
because
Steve.
the rails aren't solid.
Stormy Sky Steve, what you doing, man? You got to cook dinner?
Let's see if I don't know. Got yeah. These are the cheap Bachmann steel tracks that I'm not using anymore. That have the hollow rail.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, see how it's kind of warped now.
No, not
Kind
really.
of.
So what? So your train won't stay on it?
It had like this was kind of this was badly warped. Like if the rails kind of bent inward now from the weight over time.
I don't see it, but I guess.
Well, what happened? You get a lot of wheel slippage too. What happens over time? Yeah, because these rails aren't solid. That's the bad part. Then over time, you have to replace the rail joints right here. These get bent out of shape very easy too. Then before I got my brass rack, I replaced it with heavier fresh plates
Okay.
from LGB.
Oh yeah,
Fish,
yeah,
you call fish plates.
yeah. They're big.
Yeah. Yeah, these. Yeah, I know these are the 4 foot diameter, the 24-inch radius, but they're a little too tight for what I have.
How do you know the difference?
Because they're smaller.
Does it say it on there?
I know because what I have there the 5 feet diameters, the brass ones, and these are smaller. So there's like they go. I compare them the two, and this was smaller diameter versus the ones I have on my layout.
Yeah, you see what Wigwag says. Can you read chat?
On my big screen, yeah.
So he says split jaw makes the best rail clamps. Those things are expensive though.
Oh yeah, they're like $20 a piece.
Yeah, they're expensive, those things. Wonder if you could 3D print them.
I tried 3D printing though, but um, they broke.
Okay. Maybe they need to be printed out a better 3D material.
Different settings, you know.
Like a different material instead of
Yeah.
PLA, maybe ABS or something. Something that's stronger.
Well, maybe the infill had to be more like the resolution too.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you want to use it for electricity, nah, it won't 3D printing will not work. But you
Well,
gotta
yeah,
use it for it.
use it for electricity, but if you're using dead rail and you don't have to do what
Worry
you're,
about.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't care about it. Right? What are you going to cook tonight, Mystic?
You put a rail clamp here. See, the rail clamps are. I remember paying $20 for for 2 rail clamps.
Yeah, yeah. Do you
Now,
have?
what's the difference between split jaw versus a sing or regular clamp? What's the difference?
I don't know.
Because I heard that there's a split jaw rail clamp, something like that.
What is that rail clamp that you have? Show me it.
Let me see if I could zoom in. Hold on.
No, you don't have to zoom in. Yeah, I mean that isn't that a split jaw?
No, because split jaw will be split in the middle right here on one side.
Oh, okay.
But they are expensive.
Do you know Mr. Petovich?
No.
You don't watch his? He's a Guardian
Oh
Railroad.
yeah. Oh yeah. No. Oh yeah, Mr. Pictoba. Yeah.
Yeah, he does
I
a lot.
watched it. Yeah, I watched his live stream. I've been
Okay.
on their live stream before, like on
Okay.
the chat.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I watched their live stream. Yeah, because I like to put in see who wins the prizes, and there's a few times I've been close.
One of these times you're gonna win.
Yeah, Mr. Pictob. I thought I picked of it,
Yeah,
or how's that?
Mr. Pictovid, Mr. Pictovish. I don't know how you pronounce it. Mr. Pictovid? I don't know. Something like that. What's up, Dwight Curly? How's it going? You missed all the action, Dwight. I had my bird feeder on. Had a bunch of people here. You never won either? Nah. Yeah, but you don't have any G scale stuff. Dave from Dave's Trains and Automobiles is that kind of scale from here. So I have a video on our playlist of his stuff. Who's Dave's Trains? Who's he? Who's he? Dave's Trains. Man, I got a ripping headache. First course will be first course will be pizza pockets. Yeah. Pizza pockets. Oh man. Oh wow.
Ma'am, think I can manage to just 3D print the rail and replace these rails somehow.
Yeah, maybe you could do that, but I wonder if the plastic rails will hold up.
Well, because the plastic rails are solid too.
Yeah. But then
With
they
the
won't
infill.
conduct. Then
What?
they won't conduct electricity.
Right, yeah.
Right?
That's true. I'll have to put like what you call like a copper tape over it.
Yeah, something. Yeah, it sounds expensive. You're J6 now? Is Dave the guy that does videos with you? Or is this a different Dave, Steve? My bird feeder's still surviving. I don't see no squirrels out there. Different Dave. Okay. Okay. Let me go to the bird cam. Hold on. Bird cam. There's the bird cam. Alfonso.
Yeah.
If you're oh, okay. I didn't know if you were talking.
I'm still here.
No, okay. No problem. It's hard to say. I thought I had the same time. I ended up having to fix an exam for a professor. What'd you do to the exam? You had to fix it. What do you mean? Cheated? DB Tech, you should go into the side business of selling the answers. Your gifted membership expires soon. Where's that from? You're gifted membership. Virtual rail fan. Who cares? Coming back or you heading home? Oh, an online exam.
And I'm looking for an RC module for one of my locomotives.
How you gonna? Where do you find them at?
The only one that I know is Pico. That has the cheapest one.
Maybe you could ask the guys over there on Mr. Piktovich live.
Yeah.
Maybe they might have some used ones.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not DCC. I'm talking about regular radio control
yeah,
transmitter receiver module.
yeah. Maybe you can find one.
Yeah.
Well, you want to come back, Dave? Is that what you want to do? You can come back. Come back. He's very helpful. Yeah, Mr. Piktovich, he'd probably help you.
Right. You know what? I'd like to have on my G scale, like the what do you call the articulated well cars that have the double stack containers.
Oh wow, man! Do they make them for G scale?
Yeah, but those are expensive, man. They're like $300.
Holy cow, man! That's a lot of money.
Yeah, but like
There we go.
yeah.
Hey,
So
Alfonso.
hey, are you the reason I want to have those double stack container cars, because I want to build a triple stack container. I want to have a triple stack container.
Triple stack.
Yeah, to make it look like I'm shipping 3 containers for the price of 1.
DB Tech Dave has a question for you. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna. You were asking about your the one that derails there, and
Yeah.
then I actually did 3D print a re-railer for O-Gauge, so
Right.
they should be able to. There should be one, or if I could probably design one for the G gauge that just fits in, like a piece of plastic that fits in between the ties or something to guide the.
Yeah, that's
the
what
wheel.
I got. That's what I 3D printed too.
Did you print one for that or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Re-railer, the inline re-railer.
Okay.
Does it work?
Yeah, it works.
So
It works.
what would happen if you just put them all over your layout? Then you wouldn't have to worry about those trucks coming off, right?
Right, but it doesn't work for the trucks. That's the problem. The trucks are too light. But it works for the other. It works for the other stuff,
I got you. I don't know. Maybe I think like a spring. If you put a spring between the screw and the truck, so that
Yeah.
pushes
the truck down. What do you think, DB Tech Dave?
Well, that's a possibility, or if it's too light, and I guess start with. I guess you shouldn't have to modify the original engine for it to work.
Yeah.
Right.
But you might put the thing on the track and take a good close. Oh, I guess you have somebody. If you have somebody can look at it real close, magnifying SL, how much you can see, and make sure it's sitting on the rails nice and flat, and you kind of you got to roll it a little bit and see if there's something that's not catching on it or something. That's a good view of it there.
Yeah,
Actually.
but I don't know if it's well balanced or not.
You know what? That's a good way to look at that. Can you set that like on a track with the camera next to it?
Let me see if I can zoom
See if you
into
set it on the flat. That's a good way for both of us to look at it.
Yeah, let me zoom in all the way.
Maybe we could see something that you don't.
Yeah, maybe move the camera now. Good thing, DB Tech.
I mean, I had a problem with one, and I did just that, and I'm looking at it, and it turns out that the stupid coupler kept dragging, and the coupler was causing the thing to unrail just because of the way it was sitting.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, if you can set it on here, put the camera real close, maybe we could catch something that he doesn't see.
So did you get your parts for your incline?
Oh, so I need I got to assemble some splitters on it.
Yeah, that's right. You were waiting for train show.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and then that whole the assembly that rolls up or reels the line, you know, the cable assembly.
Okay, I got it on the track.
Okay, so
Can you get closer?
well, yeah, there you go. See, now he had a tough time getting that one front wheel on.
Yeah, I got it zoomed in all the way. It's the so I have to use.
Um,
Yeah, I
so
can.
are the front wheels, the pilot wheels, are they on there good? Are they lined up? It's kind of hard to tell because they cut a little fuzzy. I guess you're a little bit further away.
Yeah, you're not as clear.
Yeah, because those pilot wheels don't look like they're 100% in line.
Yeah, they don't look like they're on the track. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Sorry, my internet keeps going out.
Mm-hmm.
So you think it's a balance or no?
Oh, it's hard to tell. Can you
I-
tell? Are those front wheels? Are they on the track correctly?
Well, I can feel it that they're on the track, but you know.
Okay, yeah, that looks good. Let's see. You can see Jerry. They're a little bit
Yeah, they're small.
that, and they're a little bit light. Does he just bump that?
Yeah.
Like they didn't.
Yeah, but any little bumps kind of lifts it up, lifts any
Yeah,
little tiny
But they
bump to
don't-
hit.
they don't have good contact with the rail, really.
If you put your hand like on the top of the engine and
Yeah.
and move, yeah, now move it a little bit to see how much. Don't move the wheel. See, move the whole engine a little bit. See how much play you have in it. Well, you see, Jerry, that yeah, you see that?
Yeah, there's a lot of spring in there.
Sure is.
Yeah.
And I mean, hopefully that cord's not catching on anything.
The core's just a jumper cable between the flex track and the brass rail. Because
I mean, what connects to the tender?
the wire back here, this connects to the tender. You load it up.
Yeah, maybe the tender itself is also pulling on something.
Because I had to.
It looks like there's those two pieces of track right there, two different types of track.
Yeah, 250 code 250 rail with the code 332 rail.
Okay.
What did he say, Jerry?
They're two different codes. The
Oh,
rail.
well, that'll cause a derail because it just did it. Yeah, you can see right there. That'll easily cause a derail.
It shouldn't because I have a like adapter to it too. I'm using like an adapter.
But you can see if you push that to the left,
Yeah.
stop. Yeah, you can see that doesn't line up. Right, Jerry?
What the
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you
but-
have,
Like there's so much play in those front trucks that they're just
Yeah.
like they're like any little deviation.
Gap.
Yeah, any little deviation is what's throwing them off.
Okay.
wow, I would say, you know, get some track. You need some G scale track.
Right.
Do you need some more?
Yeah. I just can't really afford them. They're expensive.
Well, I keep my eyes out. I find all kind of stuff.
Yeah, man. I prefer the heavy brass track or aluminum.
What's the
like-
difference? So the track that the most of your locomotive on the left hand side, what is that track?
Yagas Creek Flex Track. It's a custom hand laid flex track
Oh,
from Yagas Creek. The
And the-
code 250 rail.
and the stuff on the right, what is that?
The LGB brass
Okay.
The code, which is code 332, the thickest and the heaviest rail. And the one on the left is the aluminum.
Okay.
So
Huh.
there's two different thickness, basically. Of
Yeah.
the rail, like the height.
And you already put a lot of weight in the front of the locomotive, right?
Oh yeah, the whole thing is heavy.
Yeah, it's just like that those trucks just they float too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what,
So
see what Wigwag was saying there.
What do you say? Doesn't look balanced back to front. I mean, maybe I don't know. It's hard to tell.
so you're talking maybe the back, maybe it's leaning towards the back support of wheels. You know, like the back wheels and the wheel on the back of the locomotive, like that's the support wheel.
It could be. I mean, but it's hard to really
Maybe
tell.
part is leaning towards more to the back somehow.
A little bit.
Yeah, but there's nothing you could do to change that.
Right.
I wonder
To
if
it.
you changed the wheels on your trucks, the front trucks.
I don't know. Like
I don't know. And it's just this locomotive, right? It's none of your other ones.
no, it's just this one that I have problems with.
A tension adjustment. I don't know. I don't know enough about this stuff to ask. But I'll tell you who would probably know about it is Mr. Piktovich.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's right. He is big on that stuff.
Mr.
He-
Piktovid, Mr. Piktovid, however
Yeah.
you want to pronounce it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Piktovich, you know what, Jerry? For 5 years, I've been calling Mr. Piktovid.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't. Heath. I think Heath calls him Mr. Piktovid. I don't
Mr.
know.
Piktovit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he'd answer to anything, really. But, yeah. It's okay.
Oh, that's funny.
So you think it's out of balance, right?
It's
Basically.
hard to tell. I mean, it looks it, but it's deceiving, you know.
Well, are
'cause
you saying that the front truck is what comes derailed?
Yeah.
it keeps coming off, and it shorts out, his radio control thing.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of hard to tell what was causing it, but you could tell that that whole front truck is kind of light. You know, it's lightweight, and
Yeah.
anything, it looks like anything could hit it and knock it off.
Yeah.
Did you check the wheels real close? Are they like, straight, and there's no bumps in the wheels themselves? They spin okay?
Right.
Because yeah, any kind of a bend in one of those will. And I've had some on HO, and you don't notice it till you look at it real close.
Yeah.
And if there's a chip in the wheel or something, and
Right.
then it'll go a toe.
So those wheels, the front wheels, are they metal or are they plastic?
Supposedly metal.
Okay.
Is that where it gets power?
Well, where it gets power are the main ones here.
Well,
So if you took that truck off,
it's radio controlled,
Yeah.
so it's like dead rail basically.
oh, wonder if you took that off. If you took that whole front truck off, then how would it run? If you took the front truck off and see if it runs okay.
Yeah.
I did it once, and the thing is that it wouldn't run properly because it just wouldn't stay on.
Oh, okay. So that does help keep it on.
Helps guide it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see if I could log in on my phone.
Hey James, how you doing? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. Could be anything. You have to look at it real close up. and that's
Yeah.
kind of the challenge that we have. I mean, it looks like it's light enough that anything would knock it loose.
Yeah.
And if you don't need power on there, I've made wheels for I made it for O gauge, and I've made them for HO gauge out of plastic.
Maybe you could replace the wheels with plastic ones.
I've done that.
Yeah. So that
Well,
way,
plastic's very light, right? Plastic's too light.
yeah, but you don't care, right? You just need those front trucks to guide the
Yeah,
engine. You don't need them for power.
right.
Hey, Dundas. Yeah, I mean, if one of those wheels are bent or has a chip in it or a warp, and you just need a new wheel,
Right.
I could probably make one out of plastic.
So you're gonna have to mute something, Alfonso, if you want to use your phone.
Oh,
Yeah,
looks like
exactly.
the phone's muted.
Okay.
Hold on,
Wow.
let me.
See you next week.
All done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you
See
see
you
it now?
next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you push on that, is there any flex from the track?
The track itself kind of flexed.
Oh.
Yeah, but look how free that wheel.
Look at this. That's hardly got any pressure on it.
It flops around.
Yes, there you go. Yeah.
Flops around like a fish.
I'm just barely touching it. I'm just barely touching it, and
Yeah, any kind of a bump would cause that to derail.
yeah, I'm just barely touching it. You know,
Is that track all nailed down, or is it just kind of sitting there?
it's just sitting there. I don't have it nailed.
Yeah. Because that too, I mean, even the weight of it will make that track move.
Right.
But it's just this locomotive you have a problem with.
Yeah, just this locomotive I have problem with. You know.
Yeah, it's a shame, but you know what I would do? Not run that locomotive.
For a while, right? Till get
I
the
mean, until you figure it out, or it's kind of weird that just this one gives you problems. But maybe it's just the nature of the locomotive. Maybe it's just not really good quality.
right the poor design, basically.
Basically, yeah, it looks like it
I
because
agree.
that thing moves around so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Jerry, it doesn't look like it's really on there all that. Yeah, see if you can push that, and like, what if you wiggle it like from the front?
Oh yeah. Heck yeah, man! Like it just barely touching and it just moves. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could pick up anything, and it would.
Anything on the track will just throw it off. You know.
Yeah.
Any little bumps or any joints.
Especially if your track isn't real level,
Yeah,
Right.
so I'm looking at also.
Yeah, like if your track's not real level and like say like you're going over a seam in your base, like whatever you're using, plywood or something,
Right.
and they're not level, then your track's not going to be level. And then
Right.
yeah. So sometimes some things, I mean, I guess I don't know enough about model trains, but I guess some things just don't want to run unless they're
Yeah.
all
Let me.
perfect conditions.
Yeah. Like, let me show you my rerollers. My grade crossing right here. One of my grade crossings.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Okay.
Yeah.
So is that something that you downwrote? Oh, okay. That's built in there. Is that
Well,
a
this
3D
I
print?
did. I designed it.
Did you really?
Yes.
That's out of sight, Jerry.
Yeah, that's cool.
And also, I also designed the grade crossing with braille on it too.
That's awesome.
So I don't know if you were here earlier. He gets things printed at the library
Uh-huh.
and a place that does printing for the blind. We'll do.
I did hear that
One in
earlier.
Ohio.
Yeah,
Yeah. And this is my cover bridge that I made out of popsicle stick. And see how
That
see
looks
how it's all
awesome.
structured, all
Yeah.
structured out. Several layers of beams and support.
You should be
looks
showing
heavy.
Ray how to build bridges.
Yeah, that looks heavy duty.
No, that's pretty
yes.
cool, Alfonso.
And I made this signal bridge right here. This is my signal bridge.
Alfonso, if you had those container cars and you had a triple stack, would it fit under your stuff?
Well, I have it cleared for 11 inches.
I don't know. I don't know how big they are. So, how about
The
your
containers.
Yeah? I don't know how big
It should clear the double stack.
a double stack, yeah, but not a triple.
But I want to do a triple stack just to make it look like I'm shipping 3 containers for the price of 1.
Yeah,
Like some safety violations on the layout, basically, right?
yeah, that's pretty cool. But I think you might knock some stuff over.
Yeah. Do a video of like show some safety violations occurring on the layout. Now, this is my
Somebody's
got
going
my
to get
little
a fine. The model railroading fine.
yeah.
Oh,
And this is
that's
my
your
coal
coal
tower.
tower. Wow.
Yeah, 3 feet high.
It's 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
All right. Now, did you just design that from scratch to start cutting
Yep.
up parts? Or did you get
Yep. I designed it from scratch.
So you didn't have drawings to start from?
No. I just referenced from pictures, from different coal towers.
That's pretty good, Jerry.
Yeah. I mean, he's pretty talented.
Uh-huh.
And this is my
Like
stock pin.
I don't know how long you were here. Bob and me were talking, and he does more things, and he's blind than people that can see. It doesn't. Things don't stop him. It doesn't stop him. His blindness doesn't stop him from doing things.
That's impressive.
It is impressive. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's impressive, right? I mean, some people can't even cut straight lines and they can see.
Well,
And
that's the
this is
thing.
my grain bin right here. I have a grain bin.
That's cool.
Those are just some metal cans that you got there?
Yep.
Yeah, they
Okay.
look good. They look good, though.
That's
Yeah.
my grain.
And you printed some stickers or some
Some
stuff?
stickers from
Yeah.
other people.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
From a
Yeah.
company
Yeah,
that send me stuff sometime. The
Yeah.
company I work for.
that's neat. Bark. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
See,
Yeah, I'm
there's
trying to
another
think,
one.
Jerry. I've tried to build some things like that out of like popsicle sticks or whatever. And you
Right.
cut a piece and you're sitting there, you're sanding it, trying to get
Yeah.
it to line up. And then, like, you get done building one little house or a barn and you're like, okay, I'm tired.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
But this one took me about a month.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Yeah, I was going to say that would take me about a month at least.
But that's
At least.
okay, though. But it looks cool. You did a
Yeah,
good
but
It
job.
does. It looks very nice. It's all lined up and everything.
You gotta structure it correctly. You gotta build it correctly. The support
Did you-
beams and all that. The whole
Did you glue them or nail them?
hot glue.
Hot glue. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
good. I mean, it looks like something you would buy. Probably.
It's all straight and even and
Yeah.
everything's
but-
just-
It's not like one piece is like one stick is longer than the other, or
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like he almost had plans and
But
measured
this
it all
one-
out.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I think this one took over 300 pieces to build this bridge.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Because see, look how detailed it is. The intricate.
That's what we're
the
looking
deck.
at.
Yeah. You did a good job.
and then you just like I just put like DOT reflector tape on these.
Yeah. On your signals.
Yeah.
They're 3D printed too?
No,
No.
it's all popsicle sticks.
The signals are popsicle sticks?
Yep, and it's
Wow.
just stickers. The tape, the DOT tape that I cut down.
Wow, that's cool. Huh. Wow.
Yeah.
So what do we have there? Are the Star Wars warriors or something that
Yep.
are
Yep.
overtaking the city?
Yep.
I'd say they look like something from medieval, but then
No,
then
they're
I noticed
robotic.
that
Like
okay. Then I noticed the other thing here. Okay.
yeah, this is the bridge right here. This is the bridge. Let me move my train a little bit so
So like you stand in the middle.
yeah.
Okay.
And on the back of my caboose, I got like the flashing rear end device,
Yeah. You 3D
3D
printed.
printed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flashing rear end device.
Yeah, the Fred.
Yeah. Now, are they expensive? A real one, the full size, the life size Fred.
Yeah. You're saying
You
they
think
are
that?
expensive?
No, I'm asking, do you know if they're expensive, like to own a real one?
Yeah, the real ones, yeah.
I mean, I guess they're a flashing light with some detectors on them, right?
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
pretty complicated. They're not there's a pretty complicated piece of machinery.
Is it?
Yeah, because it talks to the locomotive.
Oh, so it's an RF transmitter and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's talking to the locomotive the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it detects like pressure changes of the rail and all that, like
Yeah.
like the like the air supply, the air
Air
brakes and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Constantly talks to it. Yeah. So
Like
they're-
monitor the pressure in case something goes wrong.
yeah. I know the little HO ones are like $25-$30.
There's our
Yeah,
two
Matt.
people.
Now I looked for G scale. You know how much they are? Like $80
I
for
bet
G scale.
for G scale.
Now I'm
Ooh,
gonna take you underneath the bridge. If I can, sure I could take you in a little bit, but
he made that bridge too, right?
yeah.
That's crazy.
And see how I got the lights wired up?
Yeah, you got the lights up there and all. What did you
Yeah.
use?
Incredible, Jerry.
12-volt LED strip,
Cool.
and that got it wired straight from the track.
Oh, it goes right from the track.
Yeah.
I'm going to send him a box of sticks. See,
Yeah.
you know what I do? I go out to, if I have a piece of like 1x12 or something, and if it's like a foot long or something, it's ordinarily scrap. I set up the table saw for a 1/4-inch stick, and then I just buzz them. And then I have a whole bunch of pieces that are like a 1/4-inch thick by 3/4 of an inch.
Okay.
So there's just like a whole bunch of sticks that you can use to build whatever you want with. So I have a box of them that are handy, whatever you want to build a house or a wall or just, some kind of a structure. And you got a box of sticks that are already cut the same thickness.
Yeah.
So I do that. I do that with the scraps. I just, run them through the table saw.
And what do you do with them? What do you make with them?
It just depends on whatever I need. Like if you just, if you need to put up almost like a wall or something,
Yeah.
machinery, like if you shipping, like if you got a building that has like a, like a loading dock or something, and we just need something, some pieces of wood. So yeah, I mean, I've used them for things like that. And then of course, just in general, if you need a stick for, I don't know, to push a train somewhere or something, or to,
I think you and Alfonso are kind of the same. You're both tinkerers, builders. You like to build things and
I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool though. Like your incline's really cool.
Thank you.
I mean, that was pretty neat the way you built everything for it. And like you had to design all the parts for it.
Yeah, that first of all, that was like at least an eight month to year project. And when I had started on that, I started with a box of parts like from old VCRs and stuff with gears and pulleys and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out how to get the thing to work. and I was getting really frustrated with all the parts that I had. Hey, Digger.
What's up, Digger?
And there wasn't in the middle of this, and I said, wait a minute, I can print whatever I need. And so then I started to went back to the AutoCAD, or, and started designing the parts that I needed. And
Have you seen somebody do the incline?
I've seen 2 other people build one. One a guy built that the cars didn't look so good, and it would go up and get stuck and come down and get stuck and kind of go one way. And he had at the top of it, he had a spindle, and like it would wrap around at the top and then go the other way.
So it really didn't look good and work good. Yeah.
Right. And there's another guy in Pittsburgh. His name's Dave Bodnar. And he originally made one that was G-scale that went up the front of his porch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in G-scale. Hey, Digger.
What's up, Eli?
Yeah. And he did one. He used plexiglass, and what he did was, what's that?
I'm just saying G-scale.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, it's bigger, but I guess it's a little bit easier to get more detail or something. But he did his with pieces of plexiglass or thin wood that he cut out with a laser cutter, and then he put together. Yeah, so that's how he made his.
Right.
And I think he used something instead of see, I'm using a reed switch with a magnet on the cars to stop it. I think what he did is he just figured out, okay, it's going to take him 4 seconds to get up to the end. So he has it set to with a timer that it's going to go up, and then after 4 seconds, it's going to stop and then go back.
Right.
So I have mine set so that whatever speed it is, it doesn't matter.
Right.
When it gets to the top, it's going to stop.
Right. Which is what you want, really.
Yeah. So I guess I'm doing Sidetrack Sunday this week. I'm going to talk a little bit about that.
Cool.
And
I forget, what did you use for cars?
they're all 100% 3D printed.
Okay.
Yep.
Because they kind of look like trolleys, sort of.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Have you ever?
I have a 3D printed car here, like with Braille on it.
That's cool.
Have you ever Braille on it?
All the stuff he prints has Braille. Like his railroad crossing has Braille on it. Everything he prints, he has Braille on it.
I saw some of that before. Okay, yeah.
Those re-railers in the back, those blue ones, they have Braille.
They got Braille. Yeah, they got Braille on it. I don't know if you could see it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't see that before.
Yeah.
All right. And that's
They
so
made
you know
it
what it
tactile.
is?
Yeah, because I learned to read right Braille.
Well, I mean, does it say railroad crossing on it?
Yep.
Okay.
So like that railroad crossing sign there, it has Braille on it.
Yep.
It says railroad crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says it, and it also has it in Braille.
Yeah. So these crossbuck too, it's also in Braille, like stop at the red signal.
Yeah.
It could say anything, Jerry. It could say, this belongs to Alfonso. Don't touch it.
Yeah, it could. We don't know. We don't read Braille. It's pretty cool, though.
He could be fooling us. We wouldn't know.
Yeah. He could be fooling us. He's got army guys on his where do you find G-scale? Are they G-scale people? Do they make G-scale?
Yeah, they do, but they're expensive. So I just use random.
Well,
for average height, I go between 2.5 to 3 inch height on the
O-scale people are expensive.
Yeah.
Forget
so is G-scale.
Yeah, G-scale is probably twice as much.
You can 3D print as many as you want, right?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, but with G-scale, you can use toy figures like they're at least like 2.5 or 3 inches tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess a lot of that you could, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dollar store.
Depending on the scale, maybe on the 1 to 20 scale, you could use me a little bit bigger than 3 inches like these. Like this car is scale of 1 to 20th, or maybe bigger, 1 to 13, more like a 2 foot narrow gauge on this car. It's a high
Yeah.
tech.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What would G scale be? Is that like 124, 132, or something?
Well, they have a variant because G scale you have a variant of 130. Like I'm sure this is a 132nd Union Pacific 132nd scale. This is a 132nd. Now this is a 1 to 22nd and a half, which is supposed to be a meter gauge, but it's not accurate for the more like European narrow gauge. But 1 to 20th scale will be something like this, or maybe just more like 1 to 13 and a half scale. So there's variance in G scale.
Okay. It's all the same gauge.
But yeah, they'll run on the same 45 millimeter gauge track, but they're variant scale.
Right.
Well,
G-
that's like Lionel or the O gauge.
Yeah, Lionel's the same, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lionel is 148 scale, more of a quarter-inch scale.
But then you got the O27, right?
Yeah,
Right?
027, that's a little bit smaller than 148. That's more like 164 scale, basically, or 150th. 027.
Yeah.
It's just the proportion is a little bit different, you know.
Yeah.
Well, O27 just means the diameter of the track
Yeah,
is 27.
yeah, 27-inch diameter. So the car's been shortened in length to come.
Yeah,
So
so
it
it
could
goes
go
around.
around.
There. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the rolling stock is different than, say, like.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so it'd be like 164th,
Yeah,
but it doesn't necessarily have to be.
right. It's more traditional toy-like appearance.
That's
Yeah,
right.
kind of toy like looking. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the trucks and the boats are pretty much oversized in the cars itself. Like I have a lot of old 27 trains too. A lot of old gauge put away in bins. Yeah, so the only gauge tracks that I know that have scale that have variants like G and O scale has two variants basically, but G has several variants. Then N scale I think has like 2 or 3 variants. Because
Yeah, they
imagine
got
in Europe,
European. Yeah, you got
European European Japanese N scale.
Japanese.
European is 1 to 50th scale,
Yeah. Then you got
which
one.
is more like meter gauge,
Yeah. This is,
Okay.
yeah. It's
narrow
kind
gauge. Because most of the trains in Europe are narrow gauge, and
yeah, I
like
mean
N
it's
scale.
just like 00 scale and
Yeah, double O is the same as HO gauge, but you know it's just like it's a variant.
yeah.
Right. It's HO gauge. The track is the same gauge, but the
But the
cars are a little
scale,
bit larger. Yeah.
yeah, it's just the variant, the scale. You know, like HO, has 2 variants, 1 to 87 and 1 to 72
There's
for
so many
double O.
scales. There's so many scales out there. I never heard of
That's,
some of them.
yeah, because you know different scale represent different gauge track
Yeah.
from around the world. It's not the same, you know. Like if you go
Yeah.
to Europe, most common like the steamers, most are narrow gauge, like the meter. They're
Everybody's
more
different.
like yeah. So their trains are not gonna run over here in our side. So you can't expect their train to be compatible with what we have here.
Right. Let's do this. So this is Alfonso's link. If you guys want to go check out Alfonso's channel.
Oh yeah, I did look at that in between.
Yeah.
I did look at that.
You do a live stream what on Friday nights or something?
Saturdays. Yeah.
Saturday.
Oh, okay. You do it. You do one on Saturday, Alfonso. All right.
Yeah.
See you, Eric. Yeah, Saturday night, right?
Yeah. 7:30 Mountain Time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plays music.
He plays music.
Yeah.
What kind of music?
Old country, western, country gospel, Mexican.
You mean you play instruments?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You see over there on the side, he's got his keyboard and all.
I did see the keyboards there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my guitars.
Oh, guitars also. Okay.
Yeah, harmonica.
You have a is that a fiddle or a violin, a cello?
Yeah, it's a fiddle, but it doesn't work.
Okay.
I got it for my friend in New Mexico sent me that for Christmas, but I need to get it set up.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what he does on Saturday. Somebody usually joins you, right?
Yeah.
One of your friends
Yep.
on another live stream.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah. Kind of like here, he does StreamYards, and somebody, I don't know, somebody plays the other or sings, and
So you play the same song together, like one on the guitar and one on the keyboard?
Yeah, when I do the clones, yeah, put them all together in the multi-track recording.
it's high tech over there, TB Tech.
That sounds like it. My goodness,
Yeah.
he's making us all look bad.
Yeah.
Right. This guy's got some talent.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's no joke.
Wow.
See,
People
it's-
tell me, man, like, because I have a friend of mine in New Mexico that I used to work with when I worked for Catholic Charities. He tells me that because he used to work for the state, and his job was working for the courts and all that to help clients who are on probation and all that to go to school and get a job. And I was assigned to him to work with me through Catholic Charities because I was working at that thrift store in New Mexico, and we had another girl who got placed there while she was on probation, and that's how I met this guy, and he started working with me too, and he told me that I got so much talent that he uses me. That now that ever since I moved here, like he shows these guys that are on probation that because they tell him, oh, I can't do this, it's too hard, I can't, school's hard, and then I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you a video. I have a friend of mine who was blind, and now can you tell me what's your excuse?
yeah, what's your excuse? Yeah.
And then he tell me, exactly.
Yeah.
So he using me an example to make others feel bad.
Yeah. DB Tech, what time do you head home?
Well, usually this class goes on until 6 o'clock, but actually he came about 15 minutes ago. He came in here and said, all right, I'm done. I'll see you next week.
Okay.
So I'm here for tech support for the classrooms. So if they need they need something with the projector, computer set up or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's why I stay late. So I'm here just hanging out with you. Actually, I was going to make a run here, or get out of here in about another 10 or 15.
Yeah, I want to go too. So when you go, I'll go.
Okay. Well, all right then.
3
So I
hours.
got a question. You're a tech support for the school, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you get mad when you have to replace a projector or a light bulb for a projector and all that?
No, I mean, I'm not paying for it. So it's just, I feel bad when it happens in the middle of a class. And because I've had it happen on like a weekend, and I come
Yeah.
back on Monday and find out that they had a problem. And I was like, oh, man, sorry, and you have no idea. I mean, it's just when it's time to go, it goes.
No, but I mean, because when I was in college, I had a projector, in college, and my teacher, we used the projectors all the time in the classroom, but what happened was the light went out, and my teacher didn't want to call the tech support, so I called the tech support, and he got mad.
Oh,
He told me, don't ever call the tech support because that's your instructor's responsibility.
oh, okay. So he thought you were doing it instead of this. Okay. Well, no, I don't care. You know what? If something breaks and I have to fix it, that just keeps me employed as far as.
But
I'm
what
concerned.
happened was
Yeah.
I don't recall because it turned out that instructor was known to destroy property.
Okay.
Yeah,
They thought you were destroying it or something,
yeah,
is that the instructor that always breaks stuff?
yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Well, you know what? I have these classes are recorded, so of course there's cameras in there, and they also are in the recorder. And I had one guy who used to be in here on weekends, and like he wasn't organized, and he would lose his USB drives or get them stuck or get CDs stuck in the computers and stuff. And I caught him one time. I recorded it and banging on the computer because he couldn't get his. I couldn't remember if it's a CD or the USB. He's banging on.
Couldn't get it out.
So he calls me. He calls me and says, "Oh yeah, so there's something wrong with that computer. It wouldn't work." I said, "All right." And then the next time I saw him, he said, "Oh yeah, there's something wrong with this." I said, "Yeah, I know. I saw you banging on it."
That was the problem.
Oh, I had him dead. He was like, he couldn't believe I said that. I said,
Yeah.
no, that's on video, man.
So do they video them? Why do they video the courses?
Just in case,
Anything happens, or
yeah, like, if somebody missed the class.
oh, okay, so they can go back and watch them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, oh, that's nice.
I guess when I started here, I used to do video conferencing was the main thing. So we would have, say, 10 people in Michigan that we would video conference the class to. And if something would happen where the call would get dropped or disconnected.
Right, they could go back and watch it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the original purpose of it. And then, we have them in there anyhow. I have the digital, well, now they're digital. I actually have VCRs, VHS VCRs in these classrooms. But, and what would happen is students would sign up for a class like a week late or 2 weeks late.
Right.
So then I would have to send them tapes of something so they could catch up.
That's nice.
Huh?
That's nice that they do that.
Yeah, it was, we were trying to do everything we can to keep the students, what are you going to do? Somebody wants to sign up for a class and they're a week late or 2 weeks late. And so then we lose out on that money.
Yeah.
So it's like we're doing it for our interests just to get people to take the classes. And over the years, we've had problems, students that we had students that ended up in the hospital, car accident or something. And
right. And
they call us like, what am I supposed to do? I'm in a car accident. Say, oh, all right, we'll send you a recording of the class. And they're like, really?
let me tell you, when I was in college, I had an instructor who moved the classroom location from one campus to another in the middle of the semester. I want to say closer to midterms.
And what, didn't tell anybody?
It was bad. He did not get permission in the first place.
Uh-huh.
Because when I got the email the night before, I went into the administrative office because he said in the email, we got hello audio class member. I got some good news. We're moving from one campus to the other starting tomorrow.
Got the green light to move. If you can't get to that campus, then you're out of luck.
So I went into the administration office to ask for what the location, how to get to this location, and then that's how I found out that there was no paperwork in the administration office that we were moving. So they took me to the department chair of the media department, and it was not good. I got yelled at.
Yeah.
You got yelled at because they moved the class?
Yeah.
Well, how is that your fault?
Yeah, it's not your fault.
Exactly. Like, because he was asking me, why, like, how can you even say anything? I'm like, I got the email last night. Like, how come, like, why did you get, how can he didn't tell you guys beforehand? Because how come I don't know? Like, how come you didn't tell me?
Yeah, it doesn't sound good.
So you told him, why didn't you check with me first?
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
It was bad. It was bad. I'm telling you what, it messed me up because I had to drop one of my classes because of that.
did you?
Because I lined up my classes to be in one campus.
Oh, yeah, that'd mess you up. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. Especially
Because
if you
they have to commute from one campus to another just to get to the next lab. It's gonna take me 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well, can you drive?
No.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering.
You can't drive.
So
I didn't think
I
so.
wish. I wish I could drive.
Power
Yeah, that's
drive.
right. We were talking about that before. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but this instructor, like but at the end it turned out he did it because he was trying to get rid of me. He was trying to get rid of people with disabilities.
Well, that's stupid.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but he didn't want to work with me in the first place. He said I was too disruptive, getting too close to the screen. When it comes to testing, he didn't want to allow the extended time, nothing like that. Allow me to take my exam outside the classroom at the accessibility office because he said it wasn't fair with the rest.
Yeah, but you're there trying to take a course, and yeah, I mean it's messed up. That's a shame.
Yeah, and then a lot of hands on. Then he'll push me back. I'm all doing this with my magnifier, like over the mixer that he's showing us how to operate around and all that. Like he put his arm against my chest and he, hey, stand back. You can't see that's your problem, not mine.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's not cool. Yeah.
what kind of classes were you taking?
Audio production.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that should be something that you should. It should be a little bit open. You know, a little freelance. It shouldn't be that
Yeah.
strict of a course. You know, it's
Right.
kind of a. I don't know. Definitely not going to say easy, but I mean, it should be
Well, they probably just didn't like him.
open format. You know,
Right.
and
They probably just didn't like you, Alfonso, and they just wanted to make
No,
it work.
he said I was too much work for him. He was telling my note taker assistant that I was too much. That people with disability are too much work for him. That he said in the future we're gonna have future students with disability withdraw from his class. That he was gonna drop them
Sounds like,
automatically.
had somebody taking notes for you.
Yeah.
it sounds like somebody teaching that shouldn't be teaching.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah. He got fired because of my complaint. He got fired.
He got fired. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
He shouldn't be
Because
teaching. Got
because he
that
was
out.
making discriminatory comments against me, like saying that a blind person should not be in the music industry because you drop a let's see,
What
a
up, Stevie
$10,000
Wonder?
guitar, $7,000 amp, you're gonna get murdered.
Jeez. That's right, Jerry.
Tell him Stevie Wonder and Roy Orbison.
Yeah. Ray Charles, yeah.
Ray Charles. Yeah. What an idiot.
No, we deal with that a lot here, and we tell students, there's an office for that, the disabilities office,
Yeah, the accessibility, yeah.
and then they send us a letter and tell us what the requirements are, and
The accommodation, yeah.
and if we can do it, like I said, we have classes recorded, and students can rewatch them. If they
Right.
need extra time for an exam, we don't care. I mean, if there's something else, and we just figure whatever they tell us needs to be done. We either do it or else actually the office will provide assistance. Like if they need a note taker or something, the office will provide it. And
Yeah.
Does your school offer things like what Alfonso went to school for?
Audio production?
Yeah.
Media, like media.
I think there are some. This is Temple University.
Right.
So I think they do have some at main campus. I'm in pharmacy.
Right.
So this is what these are students taking classes actually on the production of medications, I guess, or
Okay.
less. But yeah.
Because because after he got thrown out, the instructor got fired after that because my complaint because he was trying to get me to withdraw. He was still telling me that I should withdraw from his class.
That's ridiculous. Why would they do that?
Because I was too much work for him.
Yeah, you don't
because
want
then, and then not only that, when it came down to finals, you had to take a written test and then the hands-on. But he wanted me to take the written test first and then the hands-on. But in my case, I need extended time, so he was trying to cheat me out. Like he told me at the accessibility, well, asking he could take the hands-on first, and then you come to our office to take the written portion. And he said he
Yeah,
doesn't want to do that. So
yeah. Shouldn't be
so
cheap.
yeah. So what happened? I took him the testing, got the testing form from the accessibility office, and I took him the testing form to my instructor. My instructor just took my testing form, crumbled it up, and tore it up, and threatened
That's
me,
wrong.
"Don't ever go back to the accessibility office." He said, "That's for dumb people."
That's a shame. Yeah,
Yeah, and
Oh,
he said, "You go back there again, you're gonna get it with me."
yeah. You don't need people like that teaching people.
um, oh, so I don't know if they actually have. I mean, we have like a theater department stuff,
Yeah,
and I mean, there's a computer lab downtown that has a whole media center. You know, if you wanted to compose music or audio, if you wanted to do video editing, they have a
right.
whole
A
video
lab,
editing computer lab down there. So I know that they have things like that in the school or departments
Yeah,
like that, the
yeah.
arts, school.
Just
I
not
don't
where
know.
you are. Yeah.
Yeah, not where I'm at in particular. Um, but no, Alfonso. I mean, they accommodate anybody. They're like, yeah, whatever you need, and there's no reason not to. And whatever you do with it after
yeah,
that.
because every semester you might have a student that might bring you what accommodation memo from the
Mhm.
accessibility office
Yeah,
for
we
you to
get them all the
sign.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, and my first semester, I had another instructor when I took Photoshop one with him. He didn't want to sign my memo
Hmm.
because he did not agree with those accommodations, like extended time or nothing like that.
No, we've had students where they had to have an assistant in there to take notes. And like I said, we record these things and if they need a recording and if they need extra time for an
Yeah,
exam, all that kind of stuff. And actually, I have to take a class within the next month or so about accessibility, like information, PowerPoint slides and things have to be a certain size, that the font
right.
has to be a certain size, things like
Oh yeah,
that. So, and things have to be available to students. So they actually have a class that I have to take. Yeah, I'm just a computer guy, right? I just fix computers and projectors, but yet I'm still in the middle of this stuff
Yeah.
because I
yeah,
how to provide it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Because like I said, like this instructor, he didn't want to sign because when it came down to midterm and final, like he was like, oh, it's unfair that I have to give you extended time. It's unfair for the rest of the class. And I thought, well, that's not up to me. It's not up to you. It's up to the accessibility. That's between
yeah,
you and the accessibility office.
we're gonna wrap it up in a minute, Jerry.
Yeah, we're gonna call it a game. We're gonna call it a show. Alfonso, thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you coming on, DB Tech and Bob. Appreciate
Yeah, I
it.
really enjoyed talking with you, Alfonso.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So now I know my training's balancing basically.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
On Sunday I'm doing the sidetrack on something else, but I'm going to go a little bit more into the incline build.
Okay.
And it's like I said, in about 2 or 3 weeks, I'll have some more parts and have some more of that assembled. That's one of those things I've got to sit down with a clear head and do nothing else. But
Yeah.
it's kind of hard, but it's not real hard. But I could easily screw it up if I'm not paying attention.
You already did it before, though.
Yeah, right. So I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll
All
go
right,
over that on Sunday.
Have a good drive home. Thanks for tuning in.
It's been fun.
Yeah. See you guys. See everybody in chat.
Take care, Alfonso. Yeah, thanks. All right.
Oh, I gotta end the stream first.